โอเคตรงลุย What the fuck เกิดอะไรขึ้นวะเนี่ยไอ้เหี้ย โอ้โฮงงมากงงๆๆๆ Mosh pit คืออะไรวะเนี่ย Deathmatch Kill Confirm shit งงเหี้ยๆเอ่อดูอาวุธ Shit มา fuck โหลดนานนี่ครับไหวไหมเนี่ยล็อกอ่า Cutthroat คือ 3 team go head to head first team to reach the round win limit win อะฮะ High rise search and destroy team defend defend destroying ground war castle conflict ในนี้ดูก่อนแล้วกันเดี๋ยวลองเล่นสักเกม2เกมดูก็ได้มั้ง What the hell oh shit เออ shit แบบนี้เออเล่นไม่เป็นแล้วเว้ยเล่นไงวะเนี่ย โอ้ what the งงสัสโอ้ what the โอ้เฮียงงสัส what the โอ้ shit ตรงไหนวะงงสัสโอ้โอ้เฮียไม่ทันงงสัส what the fuck งงแมพเฮียฮะ what โอ้ shit โอ้เฮียเออ what the what โอ้ shit อี โอ้เฮียอ่าโอ้ชิตโอ้เฮียชิตโอ้เฮียเปลี่ยนคลาสไงวะเนี่ยเอาดิเปลี่ยนคลาสไงวะเนี่ยโอ้เฮียเหรอ Oh shit งงโอเคเลิกไม่หนุกอ๋องงจัดอ่าโหลดนานเว้ยโหลดนานจัดขี้เกียจเคาะให้เรา ให้กูทำอะไรได้เนี่ยกดผิด what the งงมากอะไรวะเนี่ยเอองงแบบ Open beta live now join the open beta now play some of the multiplayer map and more and burn beta reward them you have for long on the 10 playing blah 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 complete blah 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 complete map experience on PC get ready for return of the top power for one blah 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 เ ลองดูดิเห็นไหมเนี่ยโอ้นี่อะไรเนี่ยอ๋ออืมอย่าบอกนะกูต้องมานั่งโหลดออกใหม่อ๋อเมื่อกี้โอเคอันเนี้ยโอเคไม่ได้แล้วเอามาหมดเลยล็อกให้หมดแล้วก็ขอเคาน์เตอร์ไซส์แป๊บหนึ่งแล้วกันเสร็จหือ remove เอาใหม่game capture filter ไซส์2เออโอ๊ยremove ทุกเกมก็ใช้นี่นี่หว่าทำไมมันเป็นอะไรวะ ไม่ได้วะไม่ขึ้นวะลองใหม่เล่นโดตาดีกว่าโอ้ยเดือนมีนึงอ่ะ จะมาแล้วเนี่ย เล่นเกมหนึ่งมั้งมา
You're up. Make your band. 5 seconds. Ten seconds. 5 seconds.
My beasts and I hunt our prey. Yes.
ไม่แลกจังวันเนี้ยมีโลอะไรอยู่เนี่ย
It's in the
All right, gang.
bag.
30 seconds.
I move. Whose spore is this?
Ah, they came back after all. All right, I owe you $5.
Oh, yes. Agreed.
Here's how I see it. You've got an ancient, and they've got an ancient. And that's bad. Only you should have an
Unleash
ancient.
the
You kidding me?
beasts
Get
of
mad.
war. Fight or flight. On the train. A short migration. This way. I'm under attack. I run. To battle. On the track. Yes. Enough said. The beast grows. On the turn. Oh. No. A short. Oh. I move. Oh. Bloodsport. On the trail. Agreed. To battle. Oh, yes. Greater mastery. Whose spore is this? I run.
นี่แหละ
The mauling. Ow. This way.
First blood. Knew it'd be you.
First blood! Now that's how it's
Fight
done,
or
kids.
flight. On the track. This way. I run. Sharper I bite. Agreed. Enough said. On the trail. No. I move. Yes. Whose spore is this? To battle. Fight or flight. A shot. I'm under attack. Easy prey. Oh, yes. To battle.
Uh-oh. Dyer's fortified their structures.
Whose spore is this? On the track. Enough said.
Their middle tower is down.
I run.
Is that a double kill? Hold on. And yep, that was a double kill.
A
Let's
short
go.
migration.
Double damage!
Oh, yes.
Own it!
This way.
I'm being told I'm supposed to say own it
Power.
right now. Yeah, I don't like it.
I move. Agreed. On the trail. A short migration.
Here's my pigeon.
This way.
Their top tower is down.
To battle. Agreed.
Regeneration!
Feast. Mastery. Enough said. Whose spore is this?
Dyer's fortified their structures. That's
Yes.
no good for us.
Oh, yes. Feed the beast within. On the track.
Their bottom tower is down.
I'm under attack. Fight
Good
or
stuff.
flight.
Their middle tower's a sad pile of gravel. You got him on the ropes. Hit him again.
A short migration. To battle.
Only way that could have gone.
Fight or flight.
Yes, that is a double kill. Stack up those corpses. Build a cabin.
Or is this? Oh, yes. Feed the beast within. On the trail. Attack! Agreed. On the track. I run. Yes.
Might want to look into your bottom tower. Smashed all to hell. Now nothing stands between you and victory. Except a couple more things.
Fight off right.
On a killing spree.
This way. A short migration. Sharper I bite, I run.
Dominating. I know my mega kills. And double kill is a mega kill. Great, their bottom tower is all busted up. Got them on the ropes now. Don't let up. Monster kill.
On the track.
Godlike. Whoa! That's a double kill.
On the
The middle tower's down. Still, we should be respectful. A moment of silence, please. For those stupid. Smash that middle barracks to pieces. Wait till they see what you have in store for an encore.
yes. Whose spore is this?
Where's my pension?
Stepping because my jaw is
I still got it.
Bottom tower's down. And all she wrote for their top barracks. End of the road for their top barracks. Oh, that got us.
Feel my bite. On the track.
Bottom tower's down. That wasn't just business. That looked worse than good stuff. Middle tower is sadly empty. The bottom barracks is a smoking pile of ground. You laid the boots to that thing. Nice. Bottom barracks demolished. How did the next one get mega crates?
เริ่มแล้วเหรออย่างนี้ได้เกมหนึ่ง
It's your ban. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Hmm?
I am Rubik, the Grand Magus.
All right, get ready.
Such fascinating images. Friends, I think we can agree that this one is in the bag.
Heads up. 30 seconds.
Yes.
30 seconds to showtime, folks. Let's see those game faces. Not you.
That was unreal.
Just don't make any faces.
Absolutely.
OK，兄弟们，全体目光向我看齐啊！
Very good. I agree.
Centaurs, wizards, Medusas, you're here because we want the best, and you
What
are
a
it.
test
So,
this shall
who
be.
is ready to defend some ancients?
Indeed. Yes. I see. What's over there? Absolutely. What's over there? Indeed. No, this... With pleasure. Much. I understand. Eat dirt. Interesting. As it pleases me. Excellent idea.
Sometimes that's first right.
I think I'll
Sing the song of death.
cost asunder. With pleasure. Interesting.
玩的呀，搞点节目效果呀。
What's over there? Up my God. With pleasure. Very good. Absolutely. Yes. Indeed. Indeed. I understand. So many mysteries revealed. What's over there? I'm under attack. I see. Yes. Such fascinating images. Absolutely. With pleasure.
I'm being told I'm supposed to say ownage right now. I don't like it.
Excellent idea. Interesting. I agree. That won't be a contest. Modern time. As it pleases me. Such fascinating images. Curious. Indeed. With pleasure. Yes. As it pleases me.
You got them both. Double kill.
Excellent idea. What's over there? Yes. Interesting. Very good. I understand.
Killing spree, killing spree, killing spree. What's that, Red?
Try
We'll
now.
have to be on some kind of killing spree to get those numbers.
With pleasure. Absolutely. Indeed.
Kill spree.
So, that was death.
You down there, you are dominating right now.
I see. I agree. My turn now. Yes. What's over there? Indeed.
A lot of towers under attack there.
Very good.
Ha! Their middle tower is down.
Indeed. With pleasure. I agree. Interesting. Double damage. I understand. I almost feel bad. Discover power. I see. Eat dirt.
Heads up, Dyer's fortified their structures. That's just more base.
Yes. Such fascinating images. I'm under attack. Interesting. With pleasure.
Nice. Their top tower is smashed all to hell.
Curious. Absolutely. And done. What's over there? Excellent idea. Our challenge. What's over there?
Your middle tower might need a little attention.
Interesting. Interesting. Yes. It's not island. Such fascinating images.
Yeah, their bottom tower is down.
Behold. Curious. Excellent idea.
Death tax.
โอ้เฮียกดผิด
Indeed. Very good. With pleasure. Yes. I understand. What's over there? Absolutely. With pleasure. As it pleases me. That should help. Absolutely. Indeed. Interesting. Such fascinating images. With pleasure. Absolutely. Interesting. Me, child. I see. agree. That should take the edge off. I understand. Eat that. Not yet.
You told I'm supposed to say 4.
Eat dirt. This gives me an idea. What's What's over there?
Uh-oh. Dyer's fortified their structures.
Very good. Absolutely. Yes. Machinery.
I'll take that.
Excellent idea. With pleasure. I see. What's over there? Interesting. Interesting. I'm not ready. Very good. Absolutely. Indeed. Excellent idea. Indeed. Up, mind the drop.
The middle tower's down.
With
You laid the
pleasure.
boots to that thing. Nice work.
If it pleases me. Father's masterpiece. Yes. I agree. I understand. With pleasure. Very good.
Their top tower is down.
As it pleases me. Yes. That should help. What's over there? Excellent idea. Absolutely. Yes. Such fascinating images.
Better than a poultice.
Attack. Interesting. Indeed. What's over there? Interesting. Curious. Absolutely. I see. I understand. Bring it on. How peculiar. Just down. Attack.
Bring up a little one there. Is a mega kiss. Those cold dead eyes. Bottom tower is down. Overall body. Greg, that's an ultra kill. Dyer's fortified their structures. That's no good for us.
You will be forgotten tomorrow.
Great, their bottom tower's all busted
Interesting.
up.
Curious. Absolutely.
You ruined those bottom barrels. Get them on the ropes now. Don't let them.
Is it easy? Such fascinating images. My God! I'm under attack. That's what still make us get more. If this outrage will be forgotten.
Just what the doctor ordered.
The circle of death.
It is not so easy to kill a Magus. With pleasure. Excellent idea. pleasure. I almost feel bad. I understand. What's over there? Absolutely. That should take the edge off. Interesting.
Look at him go. I'm supposed to say ownage. Holy Hercules, this is a killing spree.
Attack.
Middle tower's down.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Middle tower's a sad pile of ground. Middle tower's down. That was a masterclass in middle barracks. You just obliterated the little barracks. That thing is spitting bricks right now.
เย่จบวันนี้ชนะลืมนับเลยลืมอัปเดตชนะ2 เกม เดี๋ยวดูซิ
Perhaps not as much. We saw a couple of stomps, but today I have a feeling it's not going to. More evenly matched.
Yeah, hopefully we see more killing heroes than killing ancients, you know.
Was a bit of a passive day yesterday, but nevertheless, it was still very interesting and very exciting. Anything that you're looking forward to today when it comes to teams, certain players, anything out there at all?
I mean, the inter-regional game for me, Bat Boom against Nine Pandas, I think that would be an interesting series to watch.
Mm-hmm. Well, for people just tuning in, maybe you haven't been watching over the last 3 days, let's have a look at our bracket. Let's see who's been matched up, who's already played, because we had that group stage. We saw the opponents that the first seeds were able to pick, and then the second teams who they were tied up against. We then saw 8 teams battle it out yesterday for BO3s. It resulted in Team Spirit and Virtus Pro in that upper bracket matchup. Liquid up against Talon in that second upper bracket matchup as well, and that is Rebellion at TSM EG and Gaming Gladiators down in the bottom, and does leave us with those other 8 teams. massive upset, I'm going to say, looking at this, not only for pairings, but who kind of is in the bottom and the lower and the upper bracket.
Yeah, we see two inter-regional matchups as well in the playoffs, right? Like you have the Eastern Europe facing each other, same as NA. Unfortunately for NA, one of them is going to have to go, but very, very interesting matches.
Yeah, it is. It's not the last NA Hope, though. That is the fun thing about this year that I see is how many teams are participating from each region. Like, we have 3 from NA, only 2 from SEA, but it's Talon, and they're in that upper bracket. So they're giving a lot of SEA fans that hope. They are that final hope, and they're going to be in the upper bracket, so they have that second lifeline for themselves. But China having 2 teams as well, Winter, and we're going to be seeing both of them playing today.
Yeah, a bit excited to watch LGD especially. The SEA fans are going to be rooting for NTS, 20% SEA team, LGD. They're going to take that.
Is that what you're doing? You're just like, okay, there's a little bit, there's at least one player. That's pretty much an SEA team.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's just trying to bandwagon on as many teams as possible.
You still have someone in Shopify as well, right?
Yeah.
There's that. There's Whiteman as well. Like,
so we kind of have, 5?
You have so many teams.
What am I saying when I was saying Talon's the last SEA hope? There's so many other teams out there picking up the SEA pride for themselves.
That's how it usually works, right? Like, you have that one player from the region somewhere else, the whole region bandwagons on that team, if they have no one else.
Yeah, well, look, every region does still have a team for themselves, and like I said, China does still have those 2 teams for themselves. They're playing today, so let's look at our schedule to see exactly when they are playing, because I know that we're treated with LGD up against Keed Stars to begin with. Bet Boom versus 9 Pandas. That's that inter-regional Eastern European matchup you mentioned before, Winter. Tundra up against Nouns, and then Entity Azure.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't inter-regional, it was the Entity Azure. I would say that those 2 teams probably have the closest skill ceiling and skill gap, and because of that, I'm expecting a really interesting best of 3. I also do not know even what heroes we're gonna get from those 2. Like, Entity, they're playing their style, they're experimenting with heroes that shouldn't be working in the meta, but they're still kind of doing all right with those. Azure as well on FY. That man is carrying the games on his own.
Yeah, I mean, for Azure, it's been a resurgence, after Bali, they didn't really perform as well, and right now they seem to kind of figure certain things out, what heroes to pick, and for Entity, we see their new SEA offlaner.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I forget about them.
Same.
One more team, so 6 teams, Like, he's been fitting really well on that team, especially, like, moving from carry to offlane isn't, like, that big of a deal compared to maybe moving from, I guess, support to carry. Like, offlane and carry. A lot of similar things that you're doing in the game, so I'm glad he's doing well on that team. So looking forward to that game as well.
Yeah. Why was it the interregional Eastern European matchup that you were excited for, though, Winter?
I feel like when 2 teams really understand each other, that's when you might see interesting heroes.
Oh, it goes outside of the normal patch meta, and it's because we know what your comfort is.
They might have their own thing going on, because they both understand each other so well. So the meta might not matter that much in those kind of games.
Okay. Yeah, that is pretty interesting. The Tundra Nouns series, though, I don't want to touch too much on the LGD because that's our first one, so we'll get into that one later. But this Tundra Noun ones, it feels like the vibe that you both are just like it's going to be a pretty quick 2-0.
Well, I'm not sure if it's going to be a pretty quick 2-0, but I'm expecting still a 2-0 from Tundra. They definitely surprised us with their performance in the group stages. I believe that they've, at least me, I didn't expect them to do as well as they have. But Tundra, on the other hand, I didn't know what I'm going to get, seeing their Stopson and everything, but they're just looking really crisp.
Yeah, and look, the thing about today is even if you do lose your best of 3, you're not eliminated. It's just down to the lower bracket, and that is what we're seeing with our 16 teams. We did originally have 20, though, and we have some absolutely pressing professional journalism from Slacks right now.
Thank you, and welcome to another episode of Tombs of the Ancients. In this series, we will be exploring ancient forgotten civilizations like those of Quest Esports, who left this building several century days ago. Let's take a look at how they lived and where they ended up. Any clues to what their lives are like? Let's go inside. As you can see, the civilization left in quite a hurry, mostly sustaining themselves from brownies and other sorts of candy treats. Unrefrigerated lemonade still hits the stands here. Signs of their intelligence, their sacred scripts, As you can tell, they had some sort of language that I don't understand, and perhaps that is why they are still not here with us today. Over here, you can tell that the civilization lacked vitamin D and vitamin C, as they used with supplements to keep them afloat in these desperate times, known for not getting much sun in here. Ancient technologies as well, this tiny keyboard, the smallest keyboard I think I've ever seen in my life, and their chieftain's keyboard, a bright pink one, left behind as clearly the civilization broke down, and that was the cause of it, even left the phone. So you can tell that this civilization, although was very cool and neat, oh my God, are you okay there? It's dangerous in these catacombs. Although it is a civilization that was bright, it has been abandoned, and who knows where they could possibly be. There's something in there. Let's take a look. Hello? Oh my God, there's still a survivor of this. God, I'm so sorry, Omar. I'm so sorry. The last survivor. Okay, well, let's just go. Suffice it to say, these people were wonderful, and we hope that one day we can find more clues of where they've gone. Thank you, and back to you.
The poor Quest boys there have been done dirty by Slacks trying to expose them. They're still around, they're still hanging out. But
the lost, forgotten civilization.
That is Quest Esports. Look, the boys still having a lot of fun. Nice to see Mark in on that interview there. That, like I said, absolute professional piece of journalism over there.
As always, from Slacks. You never know what you're gonna get, but it's always going to be professional for sure.
That's how I always describe them, for sure. I want to get your professional opinions, though, on some hero picks. We've been seeing the rise in certain heroes. Spirit Breaker was one of them yesterday, but Bristleback is definitely a big one. Murder, I didn't think we were going to see too much of her because of how busted a lot of players already knew that she was. So the fact that you're able to get her along with that Bristle that we've been seeing perform so well, 8 times and a 75% win rate, Minter.
Yeah, and LGD has been part of like two picks so far with this combination. Like the reason the combination is successful is Bristleback kind of doesn't want to be the lone carry. You know, she needs somebody else to carry the game together. We've seen apart from Muerta, I think Chaos Knight was also quite commonly picked with Bristleback.
Yeah, it's also Muerta is really popular right now, so she can even be a position 4 or carry in these power couples. But when it comes to Earth Spirit and AA, I feel like they're in the meta for different reasons. Like Earth Spirit is really strong anyway, right, on the mid lane, or on position 4, but on mid lane most of the time. And AA is just very strong versus these bristles, versus all these
the hard heroes
that are being picked right now.
Too tanky that you can't actually.
Exactly. So the two of them got picked for completely different reasons, but they're at the same time very strong together, because not a lot of heroes can survive an Earth Spirit rolling on top of them and then A with
the magic M.
Yeah, exactly.
And also A is also good with a lot of the carry heroes in the lane. Because if you're looking at the safe lane heroes, a lot of it has stuns like Wraith King, Chaos Knight. Yeah. So A really wants to be pairing with somebody that can allow him to set up and snowball from the lane.
Oh, it makes sense. We're going to see if any of those combos do line up today for either team. But the other thing that's pretty interesting is KDAs. Who's looking to be on the top with their highest KDAs? And it's mostly mid laners and actually just mostly mid laners is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, apart from one dude.
Yeah, one that stands out.
Yeah, there is one guy standing out that's new. I was looking at the group stages literally on day 1 and now on after day 2 as well. And new is... You know what, you were talking about Gabi and how he's managed to adapt to the offlane. I don't think there's much to adapt. It's the same old house.
Different heroes.
Just different heroes, different neighborhood, but you're playing the game the same way right now. And I might have expected that we'll see even more offlaners here.
Yeah, but it's still quite surprising to have an offlaner.
Yeah, of course.
The top of the KDA. It's very common that you see carries and mid players for normal reasons. You know, they're going to be killing heroes, they're going to be taking a lot of farms. So they're going to have a very good KDA.
Yeah.
And off-laners, usually you are the tank, right? So you're running it and you're dying.
Yeah, you have
dying.
one to initiate and engage, and then everything's being put on you. You know, you're like 4 ultimates just been thrown your way. But no, KDA of 8.2 there, so looking fantastic. And the other very interesting fact is he's only played 8 games, but out of those 8, he has some insane diversity. He has been picked up 6 different heroes for himself in those 8 games. All of LGD actually looking fantastic with the hero deck.
What do you do? How do you draft against that then? Like every game a different draft? every game a different hero.
Yeah.
Like what do you ban against?
It's crazy. Look at their 2 cores, the mid laner and the
8 games,
7 different heroes out of 8 games, you know. And even the other players, off lane 6, position 5, 6, you know, Planet, he's by far he has the lowest number, but 5 is still impressive.
I feel like what's happening with that is they're focusing so much on trying to take out some of those carries, the annoying carries, and so he's been doubling up on Dark Willow. So it's like everyone sees her as one of those top 4, position 4s that you want to get your hands on. Dark Willow and Mirth are very much up there. So the fact that they're focusing on these other roles
that's a really good point, because when you're building a lineup, when you're drafting, you often try to tie the opening draft to a specific hero or a specific role. And like you said, you know, the position 4 is something that they want to build their draft around, so they're going to get it first. So it's not like he can't play many different heroes, but because they're building the draft from there, so his hero diversity will generally be lower.
Yeah, and look, to know that you're the anchor in the team, you're the rock, you're the solid one, that is Planet there for LGD, and we can compare that one to Keyed Stars, their hero diversity. So they've also played 8 games for themselves. Their offlaner having some great numbers too, but the rest, when it comes to their position 4 and their carry, maybe they're the roles that they're trying to build their rosters in now.
A tiny little bit less, especially Costabile and King Ardi. Like if you look at him and his heroes, like they have kind of been the same more or less throughout the last 5 years that I've been watching him, but he has a lot of flair and he brings that to the game.
Yeah, I mean, it tells us who they are prioritizing in a draft, you know, because the offlaner has a lot of different picks. It more or less means that he's going to get a lot of priority in the draft. His hero is often picked later, so he gets a lot of options, you know. That's the kind of position that a lot of the core players are gonna give me the last pick, you know, so I can figure out what I want to play. Don't pick my hero first. And usually that's a discussion for the offlaners and the safe laners.
Okay. So you were expecting them to probably pick up the offlaner for Keystad earlier on, and that they don't really necessarily worry about that lane matchup when it comes to, you know, what they want to have.
Actually, on the contrary, I feel like they are picking his hero later because he gets a lot of options, and he has a lot of options. You know, it definitely differs between every single team. Some teams feel like, oh, because you don't really have a lot of heroes, then I have to pick your hero first, you know. Or it might be your hero is often the game-winning hero. So even though you have like 7, 8 different heroes, but I want to get your best hero first. So it really depends on what the team feels like doing.
Usually the player that has the least amount of heroes played is the player that's being picked first, because those heroes are most of the time a bit broken and they're in the meta and you need to snatch them straight away.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you want to say about this quick matchup? Quickly about this matchup. It's not going to be a quick matchup.
Quick matchup?
Please, no, take me off this.
Scripted. It's all
scripted. Just say which way, you know? No.
Well, it looks like an uphill battle for Keed, definitely. Like LGD right now are looking in an insane form, something that has been awaited from them for quite some time. We just waited for PSG LGD to start dominating the international scene, and they look like they might have reached that point, but I wouldn't say that they're there yet. Not just yet.
Yeah, LGD is a roster that's been around for many TIs. They've had a lot of various results for themselves, but they've gone through a bit of a different roster change right now. One consistent, though, is Why Smile on the roster. So we have a bit of a video, a bit of information to know more about him.
回顾整个职业生涯，让我细想，可能我认为我学到的东西都很多琐碎，因为都是无论是做人还是游戏内游戏外的与人沟通方式，还是与人相处，无论也是因为这职业生涯我已经过了，已经有接近10年，我也看到了许多东西，所以真要说学到什么，我觉得已经太多了，因为已经贯穿我就是接近一半的人生了。所以，但是真正让我学到，我觉得肯定还是珍惜，无论是身边还是所有与自己共事过的，就是职业选手，还是现在身边所有的朋友吧。我觉得这些主要是最主要的。
It's such a heartwarming piece of advice that we just got there from Waga. This is a very exciting match. I know some people are like, well, it's just seeding, but we have two very different teams that are going to be pairing up against each other today in this matchup. What do you think we're going to see? Are we going to see the regular meta? Are we going to see something a little different?
I think we're going to see Vivo maybe do something different here. LGD, they're a pretty structured team. I expect them to, do what they have been doing so far. But like the panel said, they are extremely flexible in how they want to play that structure. They have been playing a lot of different heroes, but they have a very, very clear play style. And they don't do too many wild moves, whereas Keepstars, we watched them in the group stage, right? We saw them make some rotations that sometimes worked and sometimes really didn't work. So the first few moves in this game, I think, are going to be very important to watch.
I'm pretty excited too. Already you're seeing this meta kind of shaping up. The Lone Druid, that is one hero that has consistently been banned against Keystars. It shows, LGD, they are a professional team. They're not going to let that in. Too much of just a wild card for them to have to deal with, right, with the players on the side of Keed. But we see a really strong opening coming out from Keed now with the Nature's Prophet, which has yielded them very good results, having usually King Jungles, but that extreme flexibility with this hero. And I think that's very, very strong right now. Whereas Phoenix, extremely strong here. We've seen a ton of this too, right?
Yeah, different approaches here. Keepstars securing a little bit of ability to play a big map here with Nature's Prophet, who, like you said, King Jungle played phenomenal on. We saw him before play against a lineup that would be pretty hard to play Nature's Prophet into. He did absolutely fantastic against even a Spirit Breaker and other hard counters as well. But LGD, with the Phoenix opening, secured themselves some team fights. I feel like their drafts pretty much always end up being pretty well rounded, having that 5-man fight potential, whether it's relying on a Brewmaster, Warlock, or a Phoenix. They pretty much never leave a big gap in their draft. Whereas Keepstars, I could totally see them go more niche and go all in on something.
Yeah, I think the stats that I saw last time too, Phoenix as a position 3 has a 100% win rate for the side of LGD. But you can tell these teams, they've done their homework. They're blazing through these bans and picks. And just stopping for a moment. But I'm curious if we'll see the Dark Willow come up for the side of LGD. The Bristleback, though, this hero is bonkers. We've seen so much of this recently. I think it's one of the highest picked heroes currently as well for this TI.
Yeah, Bristleback is doing absolutely fantastic. His Aghanim's timing is very hard to fight into. He gets a ridiculous power spike, also helps with both Tormentors and Roche in a great way, opens up the options on the map, and now you have a strong hero to play towards with that Nature's Prophet to make rotations towards and play around the Bristle. LGD, though, we'll see what they want to respond with as they see this. I like that Vivo covered this Bristleback as well with the Viper ban, because LGD did counter out Bristleback before successfully by playing Viper in their game against VP. They countered both TA and Bristle in one go with a Viper pick. So just being wary of this already, Keepstars prioritizing a good ban there.
It looks like this time LGD taking a little bit of a moment, trying to decide, this could be, the chance for them to pick up, someone that's going to be a good support in lane facing off with Bristle, right? Because that guy most likely, again, it's likely that it's going to be going into that offline. You can see some variability with it, but speaking of variability.
Yeah, we get some Shaker and Murta. I mean, ridiculous combinations now on the side of LGD here. You got some really nice stuff for locking down the Bristle and try and control him as well. The Fisher is great for not getting run down, and Murta with both their Q and W can control his chase a bit. I would like to see Vivo go into play something that they have been having great success with. In fact, all the games that Vivo have won has been with this one hero. Do you know which one I'm thinking about?
No, which one are you thinking about?
So they could totally go in towards the Skyrath here. It's a hero
I thought you meant Core. I thought you were talking about Costa here, but yeah, no, their Skyrath Mage has quite the win rate here.
They played 3 games on it. It was really, really impressive every game. I think King RD delivers really well on it. It's great against Phoenix, good against Murta. It's a hero that I think they could have pivoted towards, but it would be double range, so I guess they go down the Tusk here. We'll see. Are they going to break the curse of not winning a single game without the Skyrath?
think it's interesting, too, what the Earthshaker picked up for LGD. That is something that Nothing to Say ran mid in one of their matches. So they have their own flexibility with what they want to do with this draft, whereas now kind of have a pretty close idea of what Vivo Keystars is bringing to the table. They could play around with it a little bit more. Again, you've got the Tusk and that Nature's Prophet, but most likely, again, it's probably going to be King Jungles on the Prophet, since you have the Bristle back here for FCR, and then King RD on the Tusk.
Yeah, I think it's very likely that we're going to see that. Curious to see what they're going to go into here, since LGD are so difficult to really put a prediction on what they want to do. Like, is it going to be the support Shaker? Is it going to be the, carry Murta or support Murta? There's some different options here. So Keystars have to really think through their next pick. Also, right now, they're lacking in egg killing potential. Yeah, you have a Nature's Prophet who's pretty good, but Bristle and Tusk are not very good for dealing with the Phoenix.
I think it's also worth mentioning that Keystars has one of the smallest hero pools for this particular team so far. So that definitely limits them in terms of what they can play. Whereas you look over at LGD, they have quite a few things that they can stick in their pocket. Planet also playing Huerta before, so it doesn't necessarily have to be that position one that we've seen Costa be playing over on the side of Vivo Keystars. And I think that flexibility makes it much harder for Vivo Keystars to kind of plan what they want to do.
Yeah, so far in the games that LGD played, both times they picked the Murta, it was Planet running it. And he goes for a Rod of Atos first item. Foregoing the Ether Lens or anything else, he just rushes towards the Atos for extra control, which I think we might see here against the Bristleback again.
Ooh.
Okay, picking Puck already here. That's a little bit risky. Yeah, it can be nice. The silence is great, and the lockdown is needed for their team. And it's a decent hero for hitting the egg as well. The only problem is that picking Puck when you see two heroes remaining here is a little bit susceptible to some counters.
I like this just because I know Analog's hero pool, and it's funny because they actually removed the Kunkka themselves on the side of Evil Keystars, because that's kind of like his big carry, like he plays. But having him on something very skirmishy, something that's a little bit more elusive, I think lends itself quite well to the way that they've been playing recently. And it also gives you all of this maneuverability, right? You've got the Nature's Prophet who's going to be able to pop into the lane. Puck always wants to skirmish, has very low cooldowns, very slippery, and then you pair that up with like the Bristle. If they activate these three heroes together, or including the Tusk, it looks super good. It gives a lot of space to Costa, whatever they end up picking for him. And they've removed a few things here. There's no CK. He's played that in the past. He's played Gyro and Luna too. The Muerta's been picked up, so.
Yeah, I think Luna could be a very contested hero here, as LGD also play it. Doom comes in though. Okay, a little bit of a surprise pick here. We haven't seen a whole lot of Doom, but it works really well against Bristleback. All the Bristlebacks we've seen lately with that Bloodstone build, just healing like crazy. Doom can hard counter that now, since you cannot heal at all once the Doom comes out. Could be a fantastic target. And of course, later on in the game, AoE Doom against Puck and Tusk is just wonderful.
That is true. It is a classic counter to that Puck pick. So got a strong lineup coming out from the side of LGD. Still, so what are we looking now in terms of laning, do you think, when we look at what they've brought out? Are we still thinking that's going to be a Nothing to Say with that Earthshaker? I feel like that's not the most comfortable matchup for him in the mid lane.
It's pretty good, actually. I think we might see him on Shaker here. Shaker does completely fine against Puck. You don't really care about the harassment, and you have tons of damage to secure range creep denies, even against Puck with his Illusory Orb. So I think that they're just looking to play this as an offlane Doom, support Murta, mid Shaker. And we'll see what bans Vivo are going to get rid of here, because I still am missing, that big carry to set this all up. So they get rid of Naga for the Naga Sleep into Phoenix Egg combination, which is really, really good. Also a great way to catch and deal with Puck is sleeping him and then ensnaring him during the sleep.
This is curious, too, because they banned out the Darkseer over on the side of LGD. So are they thinking that perhaps they're going to move one of these other heroes to that safe lane?
5 seconds.
Yeah, they're thinking that this is going to be a carry Bristle, which is definitely a possibility. Bristle lanes pretty well against Doom. But it's curious to see, because I'm thinking that how Keystars play, I almost feel like this is going to be an offlane Bristle.
I do too. I feel like this is going to be an FCR on this particular hero. But again, you know, they've been streaming, they've been playing. I'm sure that they've had a lot of data. Everybody's got analysts and coaches right now. You know, you've got Xiao 8 over on the side of LGD. They've got D-Flash on the side of Vivo. So, you know, there could be a missing piece that we just aren't aware of, right?
Yeah, also banning out the Darkseer here kind of telegraphs that, you know, they're worried about the AoE combos for sure, but it's also about laning. Like, the biggest focus here is who do they want to lane against or not lane against, and their carry is going to be something they didn't want to lane against Darkseer or Wraith King, which makes sense here. They go for the Luna.
I mean, we talked about that. We thought that could be a highly contested hero, especially with the way that they have removed so many of these other safe lane cores. And Luna has been having an uptick with the change of, with her glaives, right? Like, it just is very, very strong.
Yeah, she feels absolutely amazing right now, and it's one of those reliable late-game hard carries that Shiro tends to shine on really well to just grow. I mean, he got a rampage in the replay that I was watching earlier, watching him, studying him a bit. He got some early rampage on Luna. He's very, very good at playing this. And TA comes in as a last pick here by Keepstars.
You don't sound impressed about that, because I look at like what they've got on the side of LGD, and I think this is going to be a bit of a difficult TA game, just in terms of like being able to burst down, you know, the refraction, burn it off. But is it enough like where it's going to be very tempo, where they can play it quite quickly?
The idea is to have a strong lane. The idea is that you have TA, who is supposed to do really well against melee offlaners. Like, Doom doesn't really do well against TA overall in laning stage. You can crush him pretty hard and then try and snowball off that. But there is a big concern for me playing TA into this Luna with the glaives. You got the Doom later on, which becomes annoying, and even stuff like Phoenix can just kill the refraction super fast. So I'm not sure that TA is the hero here, but it does play the way that Keepstars want to play: aggressive, gank heavy, and for sure they need to be the ones to really hit the pedal to the metal when they hit the Aghanim's bristleback timing here.
Okay, so knowing what we know about both of these teams, knowing what's going to be the lane matchups, how are we feeling right now? Because it looks like Keepstars, they need to make sure that they win these lanes, that they put a lot of pressure down, and with King Jungles being on that on the Nature's Prophet and having the TA be someone that can kind of stay, you know, sustainable in the lane without too much support, like, the entire time. Are we feeling confident, or does LGD just look very, very strong in the way that they're going to be moving out of that laning stage?
I think LGD have a brutal advantage in team fights in the draft, and that could spell some trouble here for Keepstars, because LGD are a tough nut to crack when they start going together and go for objectives. They're really, really good about how they play it. So Keepstars, they really got to split push a lot. This lineup, it can do it, but it's also risky to split against a Shaker, Doom, you know, even Murta. You can get caught by these heroes. So I'm a little bit worried for them. I think the LGD got the upper hand a bit in the draft here. But we'll see. I mean, King Jungle, he impressed me before with Nature's Prophet.
Definitely. It's going to be an exciting game number one. As you can see, all these players, they're ready. They're looking calm. They're looking confident. And definitely going to be seeing a bloodbath, I have a feeling, as we get into the game.
Yeah, we'll see the players head out, and LGD rushing down towards that mid lane, and we see Keepstars again doing what they have been doing a lot. This surprises me. You have Nature's Prophet, but you don't TP out for double wards with Nature's Prophet, and you also don't use a smoke. We've seen this from Keepstars before, like twice, I think, in the group stage, where they just don't prioritize getting the wards down under smoke.
I was surprised. I was wondering, because sometimes you see, you know, the teams go for a late smoke, where they walk out and, you know, they take their time. But yeah, they just consistently, they're kind of greedy with the way that they like to play. Every other team that we've seen,
they know where Tia is. They had a ward, saw her run up the meld, so now they can go on her.
Smoking Jungles down. Pressure already being placed on Costa, and they just have too much damage. So the first blood will go to Mia. They're going to see if they can finish off FCR. He is taking, but they have plenty of lockdowns, so they'll get themselves two, and they'll get themselves some bounty runes.
Man, I'm just not on board with this. No smoke, no TP out Fury and stuff. I'm gonna say it. It's not worth, man. You just lost two heroes, first blood, and this is just terrible. And of course, they're gonna deny the ward afterwards, because it was obvious that they saw the TA go invis. But great play by LGD again. Very avoidable though for Keepstars. Great play by LGD again.
See a little bit of skirmishing over here again. They had Planet in a good position for the calling. Throw out the tree, just put a little pressure back down. But It's going to be pretty difficult for them. They'll use a blood grenade. In comes Costa, though. He's going to try to assist, and there it is. There is a redemption kill. Planet now on the run. We'll have that sprout up in a second, but I'm not sure if King Jungles will opt to go for it.
I think of one return kill, but that's, you know, first blood, one extra kill, and 4 bounty runes. Every the game, just, you know, looking at the net worth already on the heroes before lanes even start, it's absurd, the difference.
All right, this mid-match, I think it's going to be a bit tough for Analog. Nothing to say. Very, very well-known, excellent player. One of the top ones. I think that Analog has his work cut out for him here.
Just feel fish. The early enchant totem aftershock here, so I'm going to give him a... Yeah, for sure.
What are we going to be seeing? What do we expect to see?
Well, bottom lane for Keystars is the lane that has to work, basically. The TA needs to have a good start here, but the Murta and Doom, they also have some good counterplay with Scorched Earth and W. So far, lane starting out pretty good here for LGD, getting early level 2.
The top lane felt like they were bullying this Bristleback pretty hard. You watch FCR have to walk away earlier on. King RD is just going to try to continue to put down some of this harass against Why You Smile, but when do we see this really activating up here?
Yeah, the way top lane is going, I mean, LGD don't want it to activate. They want to lock this lane down. They want to enable their own pulls right now. They still need to body block center block the big camp here, but Luna is having a very, very good start, allowed to completely free farm, and Bristle is still struggling a bit to be allowed to CS.
And as that happens, we get the first blood on King Jungle, so that is a very good start here for LGD. And Kosa's going to be all alone.
Gonna get a very nice kill there, and they're holding the lane in a pretty good position bottom now as well. Trying to go on the Luna, TP in.
Yeah, there's a little bit of harassment going on in the top lane. He's stuck in between them and not going to be able to get that denial. Why You Smile now forced underneath the tower. They don't have the sprout. Looks like they're not going to go enforce this. They're happy with the kill on the core, and that's the power of the Nature's Prophet. Once he gets that teleport, and I love the way he does this. He does this super early, maybe a little bit earlier than a lot of people expect, but definitely needed to make some space.
Very early moves. I mean, that was just very unfortunate. Well, for Shiro there, he quelling bladed a tree, but the neutrals immediately filled the gap, so he couldn't sneak out. So the Sprout had full duration, and he was attacked by 2 of these pine cones. So that just brought him down really fast on Luna. Neutrals, I thought he was going to be fine.
Neutrals confirmed. You know, they're going for Keystars here. They paid him off early.
Yeah, ate the wrong tree there. So far on the mid lane, not a huge difference here, but Shaker is, as expected, leading the way a little bit in CS. But Puck is doing completely okay.
I'm curious too, like we've talked about this in the past. We know that around the, minute 6 or so, we start to see these rotations. Are we going to be seeing like very early rotations? Are we going to see them start to rotate around that 5-minute mark, trying to get the jump?
LGD like making the 5-minute rotation as well. Like for a very long time, Dota has been very formulaic in this, 6-minute, we need to be there for the power runes. But a lot of teams are starting to break that mold a little bit and go in earlier. And LGD is one of the teams that will quite often make the 5-minute move towards mid to maybe score a gank before the runes. Of course, 4-minute water runes, we don't see any contest this game.
Why You Smile sitting very low here at top. Has 2 stacks of those bristles, 3. King RD putting out some more harass. Is tanking a bunch of this creep wave, though. Does have to be a little bit careful. He's going to go for the snowball play. Maybe just a little bit too far. FCR not in position. Yeah, this is a bait for sure. Maybe they get lucky. Maybe FCR can chase down this Phoenix, but King RD is going to fall first, and it's going to be the neutral creep who finishes off Why You Smile.
What a good bait by him. He was holding, he had Magic Stick and Fairy Fire, and now Shiro actually going for a lot of clicks onto the no Vanguard here. So this is Courier too. Some quills, though. He didn't get his regen off the Courier. That hurts a little bit.
Yeah, especially as we are going to be closer and closer to the Vanguard for a Bristleback, and Luna does not like to fight into that. Get a bottle refill in the mid lane, though, as King RD comes through, and it'll be the same bottle service for Nothing to Say. Why You Smile will deliver.
Yeah, just gonna fill them up, and then looks like they're heading over to the other lanes again, though.
King RD will be able to snap up a bounty rune on his way through.
And to talk a little bit about bottom lane, bottom lane, I said it was one of the lanes that needs to do really well here for Keystars. They have been doing okay on TA in terms of farm, but hasn't really shut down the Doom in any effective way, so he's got his full Vanguard now as well.
Have a rotation top, so not the mid lane this time. We'll be having the support make their way top, probably trying to slow down the Bristle, if at all possible. Leaving Mew all alone. Again, he is fairly tanky, though. He did just finish up that Vanguard, and that is going to give a little bit more breathing space. But the top lane, yeah, Bristle, FCR, he was not prepared for this. And he's got his Vanguard, but he's not going to be able to withstand what they throw at him here in this top lane.
This is the big offset in this game. Bristle, I said they need to hit that Aghanim's timing really hard, and they're delaying it now with the way they're playing.
King
RD for Puck.
Trying to just secure the rune if possible. Shards are going to push him up over the high ground, though, but there's the hit, there's the rotation, a nice fissure. King RD going to eventually fall here.
At the same time, running
Bottom
for
lane,
New.
Can they finish him off? They need one more hit. They have it.
That's a big kill for them. That's really big for Keystars there. They need to get some kills on the enemy offlane because of Bristle's tempo being lowered here. They need to at least make sure Doom doesn't have a free game here as well.
So I feel like at this point, the laning stage is kind of broken apart a bit. Who do we feel like came out on top? Because it was a lot of skirmishing. We saw like one of those early rotations. We saw a couple baits too.
I mean, Dire are definitely doing better here in the start. The difference being that TA is, pulling ahead a little bit in farm, but the overall ganks and movements have been better by LGD, and yeah, the bait top. So Wisdom Rune, we're gonna see 1-for-1 on the Wisdom Rune. No stealing this game.
Enjoy, Dota. Enjoy.
Interestingly, Luna has gone for the 2-0-2 build. He is holding a skill point, so I'm sure he wants to go into the Moonglaves to start jungling. Dive comes in.
Top lane, King Jungle's in position, throwing out that hold here. King RD, they finish him off. In comes Planet, might be able to go and get themselves returned to the snowball, though. Coming into play, King RD will end up dying, but those shards holding into place. FCR, he wants more. He wants Planet. He's got a bunch of these stacks up here. He's got 5, needs a little bit more to finish off this Muerta, and he'll be able to get it. So that's a double kill. This Bristleback is going to be able to bounce back.
Now, all on the back of King Jungle again, just coming in and saving this top lane as well with the rotation. This is definitely going to allow Bristle to farm up a bit.
Shiro does have the Eclipse, has 3 points in that Lucent Beam. King Jungle's just going to...
committed.
I mean, there's no reason not to.
Oh,
He's hoping maybe Roche, will he help a brother out? Look at how he's playing. He's like, maybe, nah, Shiro will be able to get that kill.
What is this?
That was a nice attempt. He almost took too little damage there. If he tanked one more beam before going into Roche, I think he could have maybe gone to deny, but nice attempt by King Jungle. Still Shiro, can get that solo kill taken care of there.
We really haven't seen any sort of movement coming out from this mid lane just yet. Doom is going to get used on the bottom lane. Costa is going to get brought back. And Why You Smile already in a great position. Analog, though, there it is. There's that rotation we talked about with King Jungles. They want to finish off Why You Smile, but that dead shot off in the side. Oh, it's going to be able to help finish off King Jungles as there's a big rotation to this bottom lane. Still holding on to the Echo Slam. Not necessary.
Yeah, they get a 1-for-1 trade, but they won't really be able to hold the tower here. So, gonna have to lose bottom tower. They're still farming the area with TA. I don't think that they can defend this anymore. As Puck used his coil, they're running away, letting this go.
In the top lane, you can see FCR is trying to put as much pressure as he can on the top. Guardian Analog in the mid. Throw out some shards, just try to clean up this wave. Find solutions elsewhere.
Puck is making a move as well towards the top, so top area is now Keystars to play around with, and LGD sort of transitioning the Luna down here, wants to start using the bottom part, get some levels in the glaives, because they have big stacks on Ancients already. Sneaky rotation here with the smoke.
You see why you smile? The teleports are coming out, though, so you do have to be careful. King RD throws out the shards. Doesn't really matter, though, when you're up against this Phoenix Calling. Making sure that he will be silenced up. Does not have that snowball. Has a couple wand charges. They'll use the egg, and they'll secure a kill because King Jungle's on the back lines. But the rest of the team, they are here. A nice dead shot. Maybe buys them enough time so that Why You Smile will be able to survive his egg. And they take down King Jungle's. It is the neutral creep, though. Again, man, I feel like these neutral creeps have made so many moves this game. But they'll take some of these stacks on their way through.
Yeah, neutrals are getting some last hits for sure. Shaker, though, in the meantime, while that fight was going on, is closing in on finishing his Blink Dagger, just farming on the mid. He's at 1,800 gold right now, just needs 400 more, and he has the full Blink. It's going to be when he can start looking to make some moves.
Doom also having only about 14 seconds left on his ultimate. I think we'll probably see them try to make use of that as soon as it comes up. But they do smoke up on the side of Keystars. They're looking to see perhaps they can catch someone out. And they ping out New. There's a TA
without the puck, though, so this is not really the biggest rotation ever. And that is a Vanguard Doom, not the easiest target. He needs to step on a trap, I think.
He is prepared here off to the side, too. Then we'll go pop, follow up with the snowball. Again, Planet's here. King Jungle also here. Costa is doomed up. Is going to be forced to walk away. They're going to retreat for the time being. They could potentially go back in after the Doom, but it feels like Costa, he doesn't want to risk it. He wants to just start working towards this Desolator. And Keystar's already making a rotation. They say, all right, didn't work out. Not the worst.
Still a good poke, though, by Keystars. Even though they didn't get the kill, they now, prompted out the Doom and made sure that he doesn't have a chance to make rotations. But at the same time, New, he just wants to sit here and farm. He's got his Midas coming out already, the full Midas, and he has 3 points in Devour. So he's just sitting to build up his farm and scale, not really looking to play as active as Keystars are right now.
I mean, he's sitting towards the top of that net worth. TA keeping up because of those glaives, but... Luna just a little bit behind. Everybody, it's funny actually. Both of these teams have a core that has a built-in way of having cleave, right? The side blades, the glaives, and then you just
basically want to have some form of steroid and ramp up. Shaker looking for a first move here. Gonna jump in on the Nature's Prophets. Should be easy kill without ulti.
Yeah. Still holding on to a haste rune too. So that's a blink, that's a haste rune. Still holding on to the Echo Slam. So nothing to say. Biding his time patiently, but it's looking very good here.
It's a good timing window for LGD right now before the Aghanim Scepter completes over on Bristleback, and having this Haste Rune and Blink Dagger as well in Shaker, they could play pretty aggressively around him, but for now, they're just building even more stacks. This Ancient stack is getting massive. Planet gonna try and get one more on it for the Luna, who is now 3 points in Moog Glaive, so she's ready to farm it whenever she can.
Yeah, really haven't seen any motion towards that buy angle in terms of doing any scouting, any sort of visual. The King Jungle's dish up. Oh my goodness, the jump forward here from nothing to say. They want to get rid of Costa, but the snowball rolling on through. Buys a bit more time. He's going to try to teleport away. Cannot do it. It was a valiant effort from King RD, but LGD, they were already ready. Look at these body blocks. He's saying, King RD, you are not getting out alive. No way.
Beautiful there for LGD, scoring a big win as well, getting more momentum on the Luna here as well as the Doom, who are, the two of them leading the chart. Mid, though, they try and make a play on the Phoenix, but he doesn't really have backup on the puck, so...
Yeah, I'm not sure were they trying to bait out an egg, maybe thinking that there were more there, but Why You Smile is not sweating at all.
I think he was, wanting to get a Nature's Prophet rotation. Thing is, King Jungle has gone for a weird build as well on Nature's Prophet. He's going for 3 points, Nature's Call, only 1 level teleport so far.
They have nothing to say over here, and they know that there's no Echo Slam, so they're going to try to take advantage of it, and they do. They finish him off.
That's a good move by King Jungle, though. Sitting on the high ground, gets a nice find. And they know that the farm is happening. They have a ward observing Luna right now. They want to make a move over there.
Yeah, they're sending the tree babies over as well. Why You Smile sitting a little low. Analog has that illusory orb. He's going to try to put a little pressure down. Planet nearby.
The ward falls. Puck doesn't have blink, so kind of hard for him to get in on the Luna here without taking damage from the glaives.
Seems like they're just trying to place that pressure down. New also making his way over. He's got Doom back up now. A little bit of that snowball. Nothing to say. Teleporting over to the mid lane. He's looking to just stop King RD. Good positioning. They'll be able to get themselves a pick off.
That's really nice for him, and they get the entire stack without any real contest. So a lot of, they ran over there, tried to force them to stop, but ultimately every single creep went the way of LGD, and now Luna going over to farm another stack. She's got the entire Manta style already as well. She's starting to, accelerate, and in the carry-to-carry matchup here, TA does not do great if Luna is ahead in farm. That's a horrible matchup.
Now, lacking a lot of mobility over on the side of Keystars, like you said. You don't have the blink on the puck just yet. Blink will be on Tusk eventually, but still quite a ways off since it is, of course, a support.
So finally, the Aghanim Scepter for Bristle. This is the big timing that you want to play around. It is in time for the 15 minutes as well, so Roshan is top, which is easier for Radiant to take. They can try and play towards that as their next objective with TA and Bristle here. Already, though, LGD, they know this. They're making a move towards top, not giving up the top area.
They've got absolutely terrifying team fight on top of this. So FCR is going to break the smoke. You see that he's got that. They even just go right into the Echo Slam. They don't want to allow him to be able to use this. So just a quick and just calculated hit coming out from the side of LGD.
That's a nice move to make. This is, taking away the option for Roshan. Then back they go to play towards mid. It's going to be a bottom rune.
Shield's already in position. Grabs himself that shielder. Nothing to say. Good waning rest will keep him quiet. But they're all grouped up, for the most part, towards this mid area.
I'm very perplexed by this Nature's Call max builds against a Luna and Shaker. I feel like, most support Nature's Prophets will just max out the Sprout and the teleportation. And this game, I don't really see why he elected to do this.
Do you think he figures that he's going to have to do, a lot of split pushing, perhaps?
I guess you could say that their team is missing pushing power, but split pushing against this lineup I don't think works.
Yeah, King Jungle's getting spotted out. There's that A-Test like we talked about, calling, Sunray, Fissure, everything. They'll finish him off a nice Dream Coil, but they just don't have the means to back it up yet. Costa making his way over. It's just so slow thanks to those Fire Spirits. The Icarus dive away, Egg over to the side. King RD trying to finish off, nothing to say, but he's not going to be able to. Costa running again, that Rod A-Test coming into play. Doom over onto FCR. Costa's just taking too much damage with the Sunray and everything else. That is yet another kill going the way of LGD.
That was just beautiful by LGD. The positioning on that egg was just close enough to be really useful and not far in enough that they can focus down the egg. So they did the only thing they could on Keystar, started running away. But the Fissure from Shaker there and the positioning by New coming in from behind, LGD are just outclassing them with the movements right now.
It's been a bit of a slow burn year for LGD. They were top of their regional, but definitely struggled on the international scene. But whatever it is, they've hit their stride. They're looking good, looking great in their first phase of group phase. I think they were the second team to confirm.
Yeah, I mean, they only dropped a single game, so they so far have been looking super solid. Keystars, on the other hand, had a pretty struggle type of group stage, and this is starting out to be a pretty tough series for him as well here. 7,000 gold behind a Luna matchup, where Luna definitely is the strongest late gamer here as well.
Analog poking a little bit, does have the Blink Dagger available. But they have to be careful. They have the Echo Slam backup on Shaker. He's working towards that Aghanims. It is going to be very difficult for them if they get initiated upon.
Oh, FCR is going for the Bloodstone build here as well, even into the Doom. Not going for the Lotus Orb to try and get some dispel against what they have, or maybe return the Doom even. I think this could be a risky move. Like, Bloodstone is nice if you have Lotus as well to protect you from getting doomed. But I feel like they have a solution to the Bloodstone right now already in their draft.
Yeah, that is a little bit surprising. Would you like to see FCR, so we've talked about this when we've watched Spirit games, and granted, Spirit is in crazy TI form. Hold on to that thought, top lane, they see you, but there's a follow-up from nothing to say that Doom comes out, King RD is obliterated, and Costa does not survive at all. Oh my goodness.
The bait again going on to the Doom there, but they're sitting behind LGD. Good positioning, and immediately strike towards Roshan here as well before he moves down to bottom area.
So I was going to ask, though, as they take this Roche, there's a little bit of a play here coming out between you and Analog. I think Analog should be able to walk away. There's no Doom up.
Yeah, there's no kill there.
But we've seen Team Spirit, whenever they fail at a gank or whatever, which isn't very often, they immediately go again. They constantly reset, go again, constantly reset, go again. So with this Agnum Scepter picked up on FCR, which makes him quite strong, should we see him doing the same thing, like just pairing up with like Analog plus one?
I feel like they have to make moves with Bristleback right now. It's tough because the first fight they took after Agnums was a disaster for them. But I think they're falling maybe victim to this, oh, we can't fight, we're not strong enough yet trap. But you need to just understand this Agnums is still very, very potent right now. They just got a bad positioning. But LGD are moving fantastically over the map right now.
This game is slipping out of the hands of the Keystar. 10k net worth lead at 20 minutes in right now. And this Luna is just going to continue to become bigger and bigger. Has herself that Aegis. No pressure on them really right now to do any sort of just pushing.
I think the big timing for them right now on Keystars is in 300 gold for TA. She has the shard as well, so they get that silence. Could give them something to lock down the Shaker, prevent him from casting his spells freely, and maybe a way for them to take team fights.
Yeah, I'd like to see them take advantage of these cooldowns, right? We talked about them having such a skirmishy lineup, and it just feels like every time they lose the fight, they just back off and like, okay, we need another item, we need to farm. And I feel like that's not necessarily the way that they need to be playing this. I also think Planet has been very, very strong. Watching all these engagements, I've been pretty impressed. Some of these dead shots and callings are just like, they're spot on.
He knows his way around Merta for sure, and having the Atos now as well, going to give him so much more convenience in a team fight. Can just Atos the Bristleback set up on him, or even bother. Like even Tusk or Puck have to be wary about this, because if you get caught by one ability like the Atos, then it's very easy for Merta to chain that into more silence and stun.
This Luna is just going so fast, this acceleration. I think we just had the data saying it's 6 minutes faster than average for this butterfly.
Yeah,
that's very
it's
scary.
Super good timing, and very hard to play TA into a butterfly this early, because there's no way he can go MKB already. And the only item he should be going for here is like BKB, I guess, because of the heroes he's playing against. But that doesn't counter the Luna, and Luna's going to the high ground already.
I mean, she's got an Aegis.
That's Rax. You have to protect the tier 3 tower.
You have to be so careful, too. There's a double damage and about half duration over on Nothing to Say. He's in a great position. If they group up too tightly, he's going to make them pay for it. In fact, FCR, look at this. He's getting a little closer. Use the Wrath of Nature. Try to just clean up some of these creeps. Give them a moment. But like you said, you can't allow a Luna this farmed to be hitting your buildings.
Nice by King Jungle to cut the creep wave, stopping this push here. And they also held on to their glyph, so not using it, realizing that, it's fine, we got the next creep wave.
This is interesting too. We talked about King Jungle's going for that Nature's Call, and he's using it to like slow down these pushes, right? He teleports towards the back, and he just starts cutting the wave.
It's all he can do right now. It's the best thing for him to be doing, but I feel like you didn't pick Nature's Prophet for this purpose. This is more a reaction to the situation you're in.
True.
Ideally, you want a non-stop gank.
It's a little bit scary. They're going to see if they can jump on the Phoenix. So no egg going to be available for this next fight if they continue. But that's what I want to see coming out from Keystars. I want to see them take these objectives. Bottom lane, New is revealed over to the side, has finished up the Shiva's guard. Looks like they want to maybe put some pressure on this bottom tower.
Yeah, they're trying to do something with the kill that they got, try and get some objective, but this is into Aegis still on Luna. She could TP in very aggressively if she wanted to. Right now, she's just taking the tier 1 tower, and she doesn't want to TP over. She's gonna steal the enemy ancients as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Start pinging out. Goes to a little bit dangerous here. Does have the Blink Dagger, and it's gonna just teleport away.
Tormentor gets called by Shiro here. It's like, guys, come, let's take it. And he's very close to the full Satanic on Luna now. 3.4k gold.
That's spooky.
That timing is going to be absolutely massive, though he won't have Aegis anymore, and LGD, they're probably going to be tactical enough not to go high ground without Aegis in this game. Like I said, LGD play very, very structured Dota, and Keystars, they're struggling right now to break this. It's like, you know what's coming, you know exactly what LGD are doing, it's just so difficult to stop it right now.
Muerta picking up the shard thanks to the Tormentor. She's got that Pierce the Veil upgrade. Should come in handy. Mid lane, jump over onto King RD. This is looking not great for him right now, but he's got the snowball. It's going to try to slow him down just a little bit, but we have the Ag Scepter on nothing to say, so I'll happily take that quick pick.
And with Tusk dead, we see Doom thinking about going into the enemy team here. As Keystars were grouping towards top. Doom kind of angling for a jump on them.
See what
Getting his
else
travels next, so he can just keep farming and always be ready to join his team. And Shiro, look at the confidence. He's like, yep, I can just go and farm wherever I want right now. And I want your Ancients, because that's basically TA's bread and butter. You want to farm Ancients over and over. But by going here, he takes away that option.
Almost have that Agnum Scepter completed now for Nature's Prophet. So that will help out in some of these really large team fights, being able to, get people into place. But it definitely... You need more. Like, you can't go into this team right now 5v5. It's just going to be too painful.
It's, one component, and having the BKB just now completing on TA as well. They're hitting a few timings. They're also very close to a full Blink Dagger on Tusk.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Puck.
There is a nice find there for the side of LGD.
See the value of having those Watchers. It's so nice, just extra wards, and Puck walking up a dangerous high ground.
A little bit surprised over here as Neo finding an opening on King RD, even opts to use the Doom. Just wants to ensure that he can get this pick off right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty chill game for him, and a last little whip comes out.
King Jungles is trying to help out here, and again, he's fairly tanky. They need to have some sort of way to cancel out the TP, and they just don't have it, unfortunately, for the side of Keystars, as Shiro's already in the base, realizing, okay, Puck's down, Tusk is down. We can put some pressure, because they're just not going to want to take this battle without some of their other heroes.
Yeah, like I said, if he manages to crack a tier 3 tower, that's when Luna, we've all seen how fast she can just take the barracks. So this bit of damage on tier 3 tower, even though she didn't take it now, is really big.
King Jungles needs to be very careful here, because he's got nothing to say, chasing around the secret shop, and he is just dead. As over in the mid lane, FCR is trying to just push them off the buildings. The Eclipse does get used. He's all right. He's still alive. They took a lot of damage as back lane. You can see the Dream Coil gets used on Why Smile and Shiro, but... not going to have that damage quite yet, as Analog popping back in yet again. Wants to finish off While You Smile. We'll be able to do it. Atos holding King RD into play. Jumping in. There it is. There's the Echo Slam from nothing to say. They rip apart both of the heroes on the side of Keystars. And now Costa running for his life. This is not looking like he'll survive this either. A very precise hit here coming out from LGD, which is going to mean that they can go break into the base.
They're just going straight for it. Beautiful play again. LGD are just playing them like a fiddle at this point, baiting them. Even the Phoenix kill that they got, there's like, small victories, right? Well, you got the Phoenix, but then you overcommitted because of it. Did you really get the Phoenix, or did he allow you to go on him? It feels like LGD are just 2 steps ahead.
Feel like they get got. Now King Jungles, the Doom is back up. He's going to get picked off by New. He's on to his tricks here, trying to cut the wave.
And they are trying to push top as well, but Analog doing what he can here, trying to keep the creeps away from the tier 2 tower. He knows the only thing standing between them and mega creeps if they, start bringing this tower down.
He's going to have Dream Coil up in a couple seconds. Needs to be careful, though. He's going to pop over 4-minute, grab up for the rune, and just run away, see if he can cut through. Again, have to be so careful, because the rest of the team, they're on their way.
Yeah, they're running the Murta. Can she get a dead shot?
They're trying to...
Doesn't expect it.
Feels like they're trying to pin... Oh, landed! This guy's good. A little bit of a dodge here on that Atos, the blink out. They can see themselves, Shiro. They want to try to make something happen off of this. Shard's coming into play. FCR just turning his back, just trying to start stacking all of this nasty stuff. They do have the Satanic. It's a good throw in the middle here as New jumps in. Get rid of FCR, that big threat. No longer an issue. Costa trying to kite around the other side, but King RG will be next to fall. And now they'll end up losing King Jungle's Analog, running away. That is not the way that Keystars wanted that fight to go. And LGD, they feel very good about it.
It always feels like they're just a little bit too far with someone. They commit the coil there to try and burst the Luna, but they didn't really have both TA and Bristleback nearby, so couldn't bring her down fast enough. And with the protection from Planet, coming in with the Glimmer Cape, the mech, making sure his Luna stays healthy there, and the Satanic, of course, doing a good job healing him up, even through the Bristleback.
He has Doom, but... needs to be very quick, gets it down. Analog, your finger's just not fast enough, my friend.
That's rough. I mean, against Warstomp and the Infernal Blade, you just get stunned up. Level 22 Doom now. He's flying ahead here in this game. And you could probably have said that, you know, LGD, maybe they could have just pushed straight towards the tower, but Roche is up, and they played the important objective.
I mean, there's no reason not to take it, right? This game feels very firmly in the hands of LGD. So you might as well take your time, go in, get yourself this Roche, the extra life for the extra insurance.
King Jungle, he's faking TP into Roche Pit. Yeah, I don't think you want to finish that one. As they, of course, completely ignore that threat. Oh, some couriers might fall victim to Nature's Prophet here, though.
He's trying, but Neo is not happy about this. Nice little push down to the low ground, though. He's going to try to run. Nothing to say. Manages to land the fissure. Gonna hop on over. They use that. Can they bait it, though? Can they get the damage? Oh, my gosh. He's absolutely toast. But in comes the Doom. Because the FCR, they split this up. King RG getting chased. They have to run away from this egg. They don't want to play against it because nothing to say. Sitting a bit low, but he is going to be all right thanks to the immediate reaction coming out from the side of LGD. FCR just continuing to stack whatever he can. 7 stacks onto New, but the rest of the team, they aren't in position. They aren't ready to fight this.
Yeah, it's super tough. Costability, again, just having to run away immediately. I feel like this TA, you know, this was your last pick here on the side of Keystars, and I feel like it's just not looking impactful enough for justifying it as a last pick here. You normally look towards those, you know, the picks that you get later in the game, you really want them to shine, and over on LGD, we definitely see that, you know, their entire roster is shining here. But again, TA gets caught by a Doom.
Costa cannot be on this map if he doesn't know where Neo is. In fact, like this, he knows that he can't run away. And the TPs come out, or sorry, the tips come out from LGD. They're like, man, this guy's on fire. And I think we saw earlier with the stats, right? He has one of the highest KDAs that it currently is going on here for the group stage.
Yeah, he's absolutely ridiculous. One of the few who are not. I think everyone else was a mid laner as well. But yeah, he's repping here from the offlane. Shiro on the high ground with Aegis.
I mean, the bright side, they don't have Doom. This might be the best fight that they could potentially get, but they don't have their TA either, which is the main source. Plus, they've got the Aegis. In comes Neo, finding the opening onto FCR. He's just toast.
He got way too close there, trying to defend the tier or the barracks. Not sure why he walks close even when there's no way they can fight, but this is looking all but over right now.
Yeah. They smell the blood in the water, for sure. They realize there's no buyback on TA. This bristleback, who's supposed to be so incredibly strong, is just pretty much a non-factor. They will buy back, though.
Yeah, gonna try to get out, but the Fisher is keeping them in their base.
I don't think they can. Analog jumping in. They want to show signs of life. They get the Dream Coil off on the backside, but who do you focus on? Nothing to say. Jumps in. And again, there's going to be another buyback. The egg is here. King RD, he's trying. They're just putting out as much as they can, seeing if they can get a kill. Costa's in his base practically, and he still gets through. It is GG.
Yeah, a little bit of a fountain dive before ending this game. Beautiful game won by LGD. Super strong performance here. And I mean, Keystars, they just looked pretty lost on the map. I think a lot of it comes back to the early game. We saw Bristleback get shut down hard. I also want to go back to the absolute start of the game. What happened there on the level 1 bounty rune? Just walking up, standing on it, but you were under vision, and because of that, lost 2 kills. Keystars, they just got a smoke. They're the only team I see that don't do the level 1 smoke, basically, and it punished them in this game like it has in the past.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like there were a couple instances where Keystars, they just did things that we weren't quite expecting, right? The fact that you didn't do that smoke, or I guess we were kind of expecting it because this is what they've been doing a couple times. And then also King Jungle's putting a lot of points into the treants, right? That seems a little surprising. Whereas LGD, we talk about it, you know, these guys, I don't want to say they're exactly textbook because they can definitely pull out some surprises, but the way that they played the aggression, they played their draft exactly the way they needed to.
Yeah, they did. And I mean, beautiful performance from everyone, but look at nothing to say with a 12-1 and 16 shaker as well. Like, this was completely free game for them. Keystars, they had a draft that needed to hit a timing, win early game. If you lose early game with this type of lineup against Luna, then it feels completely despair. And felt like every move that they tried to make, LGD were one step ahead. They baited them on the Doom. They were just prepared for all of this.
Yeah, LGD definitely went beast mode here, and I know a lot of people were like wondering, you know, is China going to show up? I would say they definitely have in this game 1, but we're going to go throw it to our panel and hear what they have to say about it.
We have many thoughts that we want to share about this game one in this best of three. I mean, LGD, we talked about how they had that roster shuffle. Obviously, New now being their third offlaner this year alone, joining them, but it's working for them. He had a phenomenal game. I don't think we've seen such an impactful Doom for quite some time, and definitely not one this impactful at the road to the international.
Definitely. Even in the regionals, when he was playing, he was owning. His KDAs were always really high. It felt like he is the true carry, and it's felt that way through the group stages. It feels that way today. Once again, this Doom on a different level.
Yeah, what about when it comes to comparing drafts? Winter, you were saying originally you didn't mind both of them, and they were very different. LGD going heavy into that team fight, whereas Keystars trying to want to have more of that skirmishing, just aggressive fight that never actually came online.
Yeah, I mean, the huge difference, in my opinion, is like the offlaners, the amount of work that the Doom did compared to the Bristleback. I mean, Waga was mentioning about how the early deaths before the game started, before the creep spawned, the 2 deaths was pretty bad because they didn't smoke. That was one thing. And after that happened, the Bristle went back to his lane. He still did pretty well in the lane, and they were playing around the Nature's Prophet TP, so they killed the Shiro Luna twice in the lane, snowballing really hard. And after that, I felt like they were running around clueless. They didn't really understand what they needed to do. And what I felt like they should be doing is they scouted the stack for the Luna, and instead of going to the stack right away, the Bristol was just farming his own stacks. And you look at the lineup, you have a Bristleback and TA. One person has to go across the map to challenge the stacks, which is going to be the Bristol. And I feel like at that point of the time, the Nature's Prophet had a Solar, so they're really, really strong together if they were to group up and go with the task. King Artie, he was alone, he was trying to do something with the puck there, but they needed a +1, and it was the Bristol.
Yeah, they needed one of the cores as well to join in. Like, your Prophet is going to join every time, regardless. So they needed someone to start playing with them. Overall, I do think that LGD, besides playing really well, they had a pretty good Luna game. For me, at least, this game looks like we don't see her very, very often. Yeah. But I feel that this is one of better games for Luna. I was a little bit puzzled by the TA last pick. It was one of the last picks, right? TA. A bit puzzled by it, but overall, I feel that the difference in skill gap between these two is significant at the moment.
Yeah, the lineup definitely didn't really come together, I feel like that one move that I talked about, how the Bristle didn't really invade the enemy triangle, it was really important, because if they were able to steal the stack and you get a pipe on the Nature's Prophet, I think after the Solar you get a pipe, because if you look at the overall LGD's lineup, it's all magic. Phoenix, Muerta early game, and then you have the Earthshaker, Luna ulti, everything is magic damage, and including the Doom.
Yeah.
So if you actually get the pipe, you steal the stack, you get the pipe, and you get Roshan with the Solar Crest, I feel like their lineup is going to look completely different if those couple of things happen in the game.
Small itemization changes there, but yeah, very much going into contesting these stacks. You can't have a Luna if you're going to put that much priority on her in lane that you're going to be leaving your TA alone. You can't just let her get back in with the 4 or 5 stacks that she was able to get for herself. And then we also saw that she was then invading into Keystars triangle and taking some of their stacks that they had accrued for themselves there. So a really tough one, but great showing from LGD to have that map awareness, to be able to bring their Luna back into that one a bit more. This Bristle, I want to talk more about because it was picked up so much on day 2 of groups, as well as yesterday we saw priority placed on either picking it or banning it. So when exactly is it the strongest timing for a Bristle, and why couldn't we see that happen for T?
I don't think this was a overall bad Bristle game when it comes to the lineup that he was surrounded with.
Yeah, but also we brought up yesterday where it was Bristol with CK that has a really high win rate, so it's very important that you pick the right heroes, the right couple, with...
Definitely, I completely agree with that. At the same time, I'm looking at the Bristle, and in this game, I have a puck on mid. They can't run away from me. That's one of the problems that Bristle has early on, right? You can just chase people down, but they can TP or get away with mobility spells. Not possible this game. You also have a TA that can join you very early on, so you can play the tempo, you can play the game fast-paced. The only problem is they didn't do any of that.
I thought you were going to add some more into that one, Winter.
I mean, apart from that, because it's with the TA wants to do the Ancients, So with Bristol, maybe it feels a bit awkward, but I still do think that the Bristol needed to just go across the map and steal the enemy Ancients. When you have 2 heroes that needs the Ancients, so you go steal the enemy Ancients to make everybody happy.
That's how you can almost have, a double carry lineup going for you. Is this a playstyle that Keystars has been running past in the groups? Is this something that we're normally going to expect from them, to have this skirmishing, not so much into team fight, not relying on those big cooldown ults like an Eclipse, like a Doom?
No, I feel like this is something that they need to do against the teams such as PSG, LGD, and all the teams of this tier S caliber. They actually have to play super fast. They have to play the tempo. Perhaps one different thing that they could have done, like Winter has said, is get one less hero that goes into the Ancients. That enables you to play the game a little bit faster. You don't have to think about doing things that are unnatural and uncharacteristic.
Yeah, because if you look at the team's play, right, normally in the game, you're trying to draft a lineup where in the game, what you're doing, you don't have to figure and think about it too much. Everything comes very naturally. Yep. And when you have a TA plus Bristleback, what you naturally would want to do is go to the Ancients, at that point. But because you have two of the same kind of heroes together, somebody needs to make an adjustment. Mm-hmm. And FCI he's probably the least experienced player out of the five. He's the newest player, and maybe he didn't really have the game sense to understand that, this game I actually have to play more around my team because I have a TA which wants to farm Ancient, so I have to go to the enemy team. Enemies Ancient to farm instead of my own Ancient.
Like overall, that's one of the hardest things I feel like for becoming a true pro player, tier 1 player, whatnot, and that's doing things that don't feel very intuitive, like doing things that aren't intuitive, because the problem with every pro player, I feel like, is they
You can generalize them, Liz. Just
look. But at the beginning, at least, is you can see that, like in many interviews as well. It's they grew up obviously playing pubs. That's where they made their names, right?
Yeah.
But in pubs, like how you play,
you're winning by doing the wrong thing.
Exactly, you're winning by doing the wrong things, and that can stick with you for quite some time.
And if you do the right things in a pub, you're gonna lose more.
Yeah.
So it creates a lot of very bad habits, and whereas you hear a lot, or you see a lot of like newcomers when they are starting out their careers, they do really well in pub games, but when they first go into the pro teams, they kind of like struggle. And normally I would say that when a player is winning a lot of pubs, they're usually bad in the competitive game, They're
not used to being in a 5-stack, having that.
Yeah, unless they are already experienced enough where they have a different mindset when they're playing a pub. They understand, okay, this is a pub, It's not important at what I'm doing in the game. I'm just trying to, cast my spells correctly. But when you go to a team game, your mindset has to be a different mindset where you don't remember, you don't take all the bad habits that you're doing in the pub games and bring it into the.
So basically, we should keep on losing and we're going to be pro. That's the copium, right?
But the problem is you need to win in pubs. You need to play the wrong way to win, so people will notice you. High skill player, okay, maybe we give him a chance.
It's this never ending circle. Play bad to get on a team, to be able to play the correct way, to then lose. It always happens there. But I want to know how to exploit a lineup that has these big cooldowns. What exactly are you going to do if LGD get their hands on the Doom again, if they want to run it back for there and you don't have the option of banning it out because there's more important things to take off? What if they get that Lunar again that's really easy to get back into the game with all the stacks?
They have to think about a lot of problems, honestly. Like when we had that panel just before the series started, right? LGD is playing the most variety of heroes out of any team here.
They got a lot of versatility on
They have a lot of versatility. I don't think you can focus on how to shut down a Doom or anything like that. It's more about the playstyle, and it's more about fixing the mistakes that you thought you had in that game.
Yeah, they have to try to focus on their fundamental game, their own game, what they should be doing. They probably are going to try to draft something similar to this game where their draft doesn't really rely on a lot of very big cooldown spells. I think that's the way they should be playing naturally. They have to be aggressive on the map. They don't want to be, okay, this is a long cooldown. Yep. We drop a spell, then we have to go back farming. That's not the type of playstyle that Vivo wants to do. They want to be running at you all the time. So I think they should just draft back something similar and try to focus on what they are doing instead of caring so much about what LGD is drafting,
Just focus on yourself. It is a best of 3, so they do have a space for themselves in this second game. They have that little bit of buffer. This mid shaker as well I want to talk about, because that was what was being really aggressive for them. That sort of allowed the Doom a little bit of space as well, and obviously very much the Luna. So what's the normal shaker build coming out of mid to be able to keep that pressure going on, whether it's skills and items?
I feel like it's pretty much always the same. It doesn't really change a lot. It's like Blink Dagger Aghanims. After that, you can either go for some BKB or Shadow Blade Road.
whatever you feel is killing you at the time.
Exactly, whatever you feel is necessary at the moment. But it's very important for you to have someone else that goes in mindlessly, and he has that. In the last game, he had the Doom that's able to just rush in there with Blink or with Scorched Earth, and then you can kind of follow up with Shaker, find those outskirts properly.
Yeah, I feel like the idea of the Earth Shaker is also, it might be a response to the Bristle, because they intentionally left the Bristle in the pool, knowing that they're going to get the Shaker, and also in the first phase ban, they choose to remove the Invoker. Invoker is one of the better heroes to deal with Shaker in the lane and in the game because of the EMP. So I feel like it might have something to do with that. So if you're Vivo key stars, maybe you could catch on that. And if you want to give away, if you want to get the Bristle back again, maybe you don't give away the Shaker, you know.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that because the Shaker was picked up second for LGD, and then later down, Keed were able to have what they perceived as the better mid matchup because they got to have that puck into it. How is that lane matchup supposed to be? Do they come out even, or is Puck actually supposed to be the one that can shut down a Shaker in lane?
I mean, it's not for the lane, right? When you go for a Puck, it's more
they were still thinking about that later down the line of
it's more about
pickoffs.
Against the Shaker with the axe, you have to have a hero that catches him, and Puck provides you with a silence and the leash. So I feel like that probably is the main idea. The laning phase is not the biggest deal for him, and for Shaker, I feel like you need to kind of punish him in the lane. I feel this hero, if he gets too much from the lane, it's really hard to stop him.
It's also very difficult to punish him, right? Like, you have Enchant Totem, your last hitting, it's very difficult to stop him from doing that. Leash is really good against him in the game, but Leash also had multiple different reasons to be picked, had multiple different reasons to be picked, because that leash also works very well with the rest of the team.
Well, I'm excited to see more from LGD as well as more from Keed started here. They were coming through the South American qualifiers. They came in first through that one. So let's know a little bit more about that journey and some of their players.
Let's go talk about the Pain game here. We have a lot of good things about this team. For me, this team with these players in 2018, I mean, it's the greatest time for me, the Dota 2. I play against the best teams in the world. I mean, sometimes I lost, of course. Sometimes I feel sad, but to have a Weeha, I never expect me to have a player like Weeha, but I have this feeling like, oh man, I miss everything about this year, really. It's like kind of sad for me because sometimes I'm gonna cry. I remember I cried one time because I miss this team, I miss the players in this year. But sometimes the players change after some years, alright? But that year, everyone for the team is like, it's a really good vibe. The last time I have in the Pain game into this new team is like, it's kind of like everyone with the team is like the girlfriend. KJ is my girlfriend, everyone's my girlfriend, because we're gonna waste time together. We need to be friends. And after we need to be friends, we need to like understand each other to not be mad about some small thing. So the least I have in this Pain game is like, everything we can like fix. So my team is my girlfriend. I'm gonna waste my time with my guys. That's the feeling. That's a feeling I have at the last with the Pain game, because in that team, that time, we had a really good friendship. So I miss everything about everyone like in that year. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
That's such a bittersweet interview, and it plays into the interview we saw earlier with LGD, right, Waga? The fact that, you got to appreciate what you have when you have it, because sometimes you just don't know that the good old days are happening. But I remember that run with Pain Gaming. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, very heartfelt interview, but I like it. You really have to bond well with your teammates. I think it's super important. You gotta gel well so you can understand each other super fast when it matters in the game. I think the closer you are as people, both inside and outside of the game, the better you're gonna, react to panic situations.
I think that's also what's very impressive about this LGD team, because 3 of the players have been on the roster for under a year, and New's only been with the team since May. So we talk about, gelling with your team, and it feels like this team, it took a little while, right? Because, again, they did not look super impressive for a lot of their international play earlier on this year, but now, they look like absolute beasts on the side of LGD.
Yeah, they really do. I think it's easier probably to slot in as an offlaner. We've seen it time and time again how like offlaners generally, they can hop into a team and do pretty well pretty quickly because it's a pretty free role. The important ones to really gel well between are the supports in the mid, I feel. And that's where you got, Y and Nothing to Say them played again together for such a long time. And Planet fits really well, I feel. So yeah, they're just doing really well. But let's talk a little bit about the draft here as we're heading quickly into it between Vivo and Keating, game number 2.
Yeah, Planet has been consistently impressing me. Like, we saw them where to play, very, very strong. The Dark Willow is another one that comes into play. But I feel like you need to use the copy pasta right now with, the Pango pickup here for the side of Keedstars.
I mean, yeah, it's the Quinn hero, huh?
Pick a real hero,
It's a good hero. I think, to be fair, that was said before some of the nerfs, and now Pango hasn't had very good success here, neither for Quinn or anyone else really at TI. His win rate is like a third, 33% or so win rate. And I'm not sold on the first pick Pango here. I feel better for LGD with the Spear Breaker. That hero looks absolutely dominant.
Yeah, that's a hero that we've been seeing more and more of. Collapse definitely causing a huge stir with this particular hero, and Team Spirit definitely seems to be the team to be keeping your eye on right now. But LGD very closely following them in terms of being in TI form. My question for you, so Pango has flexibility, right? You could move it into some other positions. It could be used as a support. It could be mid. Do you think they're going to be using this mostly as a flex, or do you feel like Analog's like, oh man, I need a good hero. I need a hero that I feel comfortable on?
Honestly, I don't think that that's going to flex at all. I think the Pango is pretty much locked on mid the moment you pick it. It's very, very rare that anyone plays it somewhere else. Like, it can be played offlane, but it's so inferior, I feel. The interesting one for me is it going to be Nothing to Say Spirit Breaker. He played it before. And I think mid Spirit Breaker is a super exciting thing to bring out. So they have big flex here. I'm sure that New can play it himself on the pos 3. And I think they could also easily take it to pos 4. So LGD staying as unpredictable as ever here, I feel, with their opening.
Look at these happy boys. Like, I love the fact that we have these cams. Even happier probably being able to pick up that Bristleback. That is a hero that is absolutely dominant with that Agnum Scepter. But it's nice to see, they're feeling good right now. There was actually a meme earlier. Keedstars put one out, and it's listing like all of LGD as an organization, all of their great triumphs and like their stats and whatnot. And then on the side of the Brazilians, one of the things they wrote is just like, happy boys. We have happy boys. But what are you going to do now? LGD are happy boys too.
Oh no, they took the one thing they're supposed to be. They just got to be even happier. Well, we'll see how happy they're going to be though, because LGD, they saw last game, they shut down that Bristol, and now they're like, okay, we'll pick Bristol. We'll show you how it's done. So let's see if Vivo can react correctly to this as well. I think Bristol is probably one of the most important heroes in the meta right now to keep from getting his timings early.
So do you think we're going to see a lot of pressure being placed on that Bristleback, just seeing a lot of movement and ganks towards that lane?
I think we should. We definitely should see him be prioritized a bit. And we'll see exactly how they want to do it. Keedstars also going for the Earth Spirit here after picking the Pango. This, to me, is also a bit telling because, like I said, I really think that Pango almost always wants to end up on that mid lane, so kind of solidifies.
Analog plays a lot of Earth Spirit.
He does, but, does FCR play a lot of Pango? Not that I've seen so far.
He's played Pango quite a bit, if I recall. Like, maybe not necessarily this patch.
I mean, not recently, I feel. There was a time when offlane Pango was really big, but I haven't seen hardly any team flex it towards the offlane right now, so I'm a bit concerned about that.
Backs against the wall, this is TI time, so perhaps they're falling back on some more comfort or trying to put something out there that is unexpected.
Yeah, they grab themselves the Shadow Demon here, a hero that LGD also rate quite high, and it's great against the Spirit Breaker, so it makes a lot of sense to pick up the SD. I like the support duo, at least, that they end up with for Vivo.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're not going for this Mirana pick that they did several times.
Yeah. Again, though, this is again, they didn't go for the Skywrath Moxie. I feel Skywrath is a big hero for this team. King RD has been shining so much, and he never gets to play it again.
About that. Sure.
It's not good against Spirit Breaker, and not that good against Bristol either. It's okay, but it's not great.
All right,
so
let's
it makes
see.
sense.
What do we have here? I'm surprised. Oh no, it did get picked off. Okay, I was like, I feel like Treant, like a couple times we've seen him kind of slide by, but he did get picked up, or rather banned by the side of LGD.
Yeah,
they're not sure what's happening, like, because you've got that Spirit Breaker, and again, they have so much flexibility on the side of LGD. This should clear up some of it. Go for the Weaver. You've got the Oracle.
Okay, so they get some save here with Oracle as well, being able to keep people alive. And Oracle with Bristle can be just disgusting. Also get the Fortune's End onto Spirit Breaker or Weaver when they charge in or Shikuchi in. So some nice synergies to play with there. And they kind of needed more TP cancels as well, since they had Bristle back. You always want to get something.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, they have to make this a priority on this Oracle to make sure he can't get his spells off, keep people alive, and the positioning that's going to have to come out from Why You Smile is pretty intense with some of these heroes that we've got. To get the Necrophos over for the side of Keatstar, so I'm trying to figure out this draft now, where everybody's headed and going.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see who's going to end up playing what here. I mean, the normal would probably be to just send the Pango mid and offlane Necro, but maybe they're going to try and lane differently. Mid Necro has also been pretty strong, but I feel like this is just going to be Pango mid and offlane Necro for them. And Necro into Weaver, it does okay, but you can't really chase him. Weaver can always run away.
Definitely feels like they need a little more locked. And you look at the Necro, you think probably for the more tankier boys, the Bristleback, the Spirit Breaker. I just feel like the team fight on the side of Vivo is kind of light right now. Like, you've got the Magnetize, you've got the Rolling Thunder, you've got Necro who's just going to be standing in the middle of everyone. Whereas looking at the draft coming out from LGD, it is very just run at you, right? You've got the Spirit Breaker who's going to be charging around. You've got a Bristleback. He has very low cooldowns. Wants to, farm up that Aghanim's. And then you've got the Slippery Weaver with the Oracle to back him up.
It's a super skirmishy game. Neither team has really gone heavily into team fight. The Pango is pretty much the biggest thing here, but it's very skirmishy. And a downside I see for the Necro here maybe is that the high mobility of Bristle, Weaver, and Spirit Breaker can lead to him struggling to chase people down. We'll see how they're going to be able to deal with that. Of course, Pango and Earth Spirit will try to hold LGD in place. They do have great heroes for jumping onto the Oracle, though, with the mobility of Pango and Earth Spirit.
A lot of pressure being placed on this Oracle to make sure he stays alive so he can keep everybody else alive. But we'll see how this comes out. So they still need the Costa hero. They're still trying to figure that out. What do we have? Like, they do have, so Luna's been taken out, Void's been taken out, CK's been taken out. Those are pretty much all the heroes other than Muerta. Still Muerta, but I'm not sold on that necessarily.
Yeah, they might go for it. They also have SD in their team, so they could go for an illusion hero to try and, get some strong illusions with. They're gonna go for the Sven. Okay. Those hero that I was thinking about for them here, they get a ton of armor, but you do have the downside of Warcry being dispellable from Oracle all the way until you get the Shard. Once it gets the Shard, it's kind of nice here, though.
Yeah, Brewmaster completely ignored in this this drafting phase here. It's a little bit surprising considering the popularity of him and also, the spells being super, super nice, but...
This is where LGD are going to reveal. Is this going to be, core Spirit Breaker? Is it going to be support Spirit Breaker? How do they want to run it? Because I don't think that you want to run a mid Spirit Breaker if it's going to be Necro mid for sure. That's not a good one. But I guess Pango, it's definitely playable.
All right. Well, moment of truth here coming out for the side of LGD. What is the cherry on top? What are they lacking? What could they use more of?
Honestly, they're still lacking some form of good control here. Just more lockdown. Even though you have Spirit Breaker on your team, it's really just Spirit Breaker and then like Fortune's End, and that's it.
Yeah.
So something else would be nice for them here. And they have a good lineup to dive in on the enemy. So probably going to be a pretty aggressive hero to play this high tempo.
Definitely taking the time trying to figure this out. It's going to be Keeper of the Light. So not necessarily, you can get that Ignitis eventually to be able to help lock people down, but...
It's nothing to say Spirit Breaker then, because they pick the Planet Caudal, so they get some control from that, and definitely plays very, very well with high tempo. They have some good heroes to Chakra. Chakra Spirit Breaker with the charge can be really, really good as well later on, when you get the cooldown reduction going with Aghanims and Octarine. This is an interesting draft, and LG kind of breaking the mold of their, I say they usually don't go very niche in their drafts. They're usually very, methodical and structured, and their drafts typically don't have a big weakness. I would say this is breaking that. They're going kind of fun here, doing something different for game number 2.
Yeah, and it looks like it is going to be FCR in the offlane with the Necrophos, so it'll be the mid Pangolier facing off with nothing to say.
Yeah, I think that's better lanes for LGD though, and again, that's why I'm not really sold on the Pango nowadays, because the hero is kind of deadlocked to mid. Big reason why is because of the mana costs. The mana cost increases made it hard to offlane him. He needs bottle refills, and it's not going to be that easy for him if you send him anywhere else.
Okay, so taking a look at both these drafts, what is the activation timing for each of them, right? Because a very skirmishy lineup from both. A little bit more in terms of cooldowns on the side of Keystars, right? Because you need to have that God Strength. You need to have, the ultimates running. What are we thinking?
I think Keystars, they can fight pretty heavily with 4 heroes and let Sven just farm up in jungle and wait for him to come in. He doesn't really want to join for a lot of fights until he has some big items. He wants the Silver Edge in this game in particular against Bristleback. He probably needs to have a BKB, and he will want to have a Blink Dagger to jump the Oracle. So he needs a lot of items. He's going to be farming away. The question is, how much can the 4 other heroes do with this Caudle last pick? Because Caudle is great at stopping the push of Necro. Just sit there and blast down. So we'll see if LGD found a good answer to the setup that Vivo had.
My other question too is, so we've got Kosta's going to be farming on Sven. Do they have the heroes to put the pressure down on this Bristleback, right? Because he is the one that, you need to slow down on the side of LGD. You don't want him to get that Agnum Scepter too early. You don't want the lane to run away, especially when you have something as powerful as a, Keeper of the Light and a Bristle.
I got good news, Moxie. They went for a level 1 smoke. They didn't go without it. They went for a level 1 smoke. I mean, throwback to last game. That was.
Well, let's see if they can make it work, though, right? Because
you don't really need to do that much. It's just you don't get punished the way they did last game. That was 100% avoidable with the smoke. The enemy wouldn't have the intel. But yeah, they got some nice wards placed here. Just running in. Some nice and we kind of don't really see teams running into each other to fight here. Keystars are pretty strong level 1. LGD have a decent level 1, but not strong enough that they want to, play for all runes, it looks like.
It's a fairly deep sentry ward over there on the side.
This is a tactical sentry. This sentry will be spotted when the creeps walk by, and it's going to make the first creep wave go under tower. It's pretty high tech, so we'll see it in action when the first creep wave comes in. It's a very nifty strat. I haven't seen too many teams use it. Of course, you pay a little bit of gold, but yeah, it's not super common.
We went from them not wanting to buy a smoke to them buying a smoke and then also using their sentry ward to... All right. Maybe Vivo Keystars, they're activated. They're all business mode now. We'll end up getting a split on the runes, but...
They're also, here we see the creeps. They spot the ward. It takes a little bit of time here. This little bit of time for the creep wave is going to make it so that the creeps are going to go under tower. And look at Keystars not body blocking their own creeps. They want them to die under tower. Also offlaning the Sven here, saying that they don't want to lane the Necro against Weaver, I think is the most important part in that. Necro wants to be against Bristle.
Well, now that they have the gates, too, it does make it a little bit easier to make these rotations and changes with the lanes.
Yeah, so bottom lane is going to at least definitely pull back. They also block the small camp, so... Unless he gets that removed quickly, it's not going to be available for 1 minute.
So how do we feel about this rotation to have Kosta in the bottom lane against Weaver?
I think it's good. I mean, it's a little bit weird to have the carry be on the off lane, but I think it's preferable to the alternative. Weaver would have too easy of a time against the Necro, and if you have Necro, you want to pair him against the Bristle. It's a good matchup.
With the change of the map too, is it still as bad as it used to be? Like we talk about them having to be extremely, extremely aggressive usually when you run an aggressive off lane, but is it a little bit more forgiving now with these other camps?
It's okay. It's pretty much like normal. Like offlaning the carry, it's usually not preferable. It's a little bit awkward for him, but the hero matchup matters more. So far we see some shenanigans happening here top as Planet realizes the lane is not really favorable close to the enemy tower, pulls it back, puts it in a good spot for New.
So what is the lane that you want to focus on? Which one needs to be the most successful? Is it still just, this middle lane, making sure that they get these level 6s online, start putting down the pain early, or...?
I think the importance is going to be the rotations to the side lanes, and in particular, New, how good of a game is he going to have on this Bristle? Early levels can be pretty fine, but once Necro gets a few levels going, then it becomes more difficult. So we'll see how the FCR Necro can do against this. On paper, it's a good matchup, but so far, Bristle is CSing really well.
Definitely feels like he hasn't been struggling. Part of that can be said because of, Planet being able to go pull some of these creeps over.
Also, chakra spam is nice, gets extra quill stacks very quickly, and now even going behind and farming the enemy pull along with creeps. This is very good for him.
CR trying to just push him away a little bit. What do they do in this situation on the side of Keystars? Like, what's the best solution?
I mean, it's tricky. Earth Spirit +5 is a little bit weird to play, or like playing from the safe lane role. I think early attention towards the bounty runes and the water runes can be a big thing, and Earth Spirit rotations towards mid can be pretty devastating. A TPN and a roll.
Did see King Jingles was trying to pull some of these creeps over. Does manage to snap up the bounty rune. It's a little bit of a fight with Why You Smile. But yeah, Neo is having a great time right now. 22 and 2 CS currently. Costa's struggling in this bottom lane. Do have a rotation. Do a Stormhammer follow-up over onto Shiro with the slow. We'll force him to Shikuchi away.
Yeah, this is where Weaver is very hard for him to kill, though. Their supports do not kill Weaver that easily. And sure, Sven has a stun, but Weaver just shrugs it off, runs away. He's still full HP, basically, so...
Is it better to have the aggressive try down here to try to get Costa, these... CS, as I say that. They do have a nice setup, though. Why You Smile? Not going to be quite as survivable as this Weaver. Needs to get a little bit more damage in their final hit. It will go to Costa. So, talking about this aggressive tri lane, I wasn't sure if it was, to help him farm or to help get kills, but it feels like, the Necro's okay top on his own.
Yeah, I think Earth Spirit always looks towards making moves and doesn't want to be stationary in how he plays.
He's all right. He still has a bottle charge and a fairy fire, but he's taking some tower shots there for a moment.
A little bit of damage. This mid Spirit Breaker, by the way, is so nice to play now with the extra damage on Bash. The change made it so that already with level 4 Greater Bash and...
the rotation into the mid lane, over onto Nothing to Say. And that's going to be Analog getting himself a kill.
That's exactly what we were discussing, that Earth Spirit wants to make these moves towards mid lane, perhaps, or moves to other lanes, and he's finding a good amount of rotations here. First getting the Oracle, and now getting this kill as well.
Now, I like the fact that they're making these rotations. I feel like it's very much needed, but I'm also concerned that they're not putting the pressure on Neo. Because I feel like Neo is the one that, you said, has to be activated, has to get that Ag Scepter going. And it's nice that they're making these moves, but are they giving him too much space?
I think he's going to have to be the target for Pango as early as possible here. You can't really do anything about him with just Shadow Demon and Earth Spirit in mid. Look at Nothing to Say. He's just intimidating him here.
I mean, he's got pretty much full health right now. Getting closer to that level 6, though. Analog should have it in the next creep that dies. Unless it gets denied. As there is a little skirmish between King RD and Planet off to the side. Charge in. Coming out from Nothing to Say. Not level 6 just yet. Do you have the level 6 online for Pango? No mana, though, for the time being. So, 6-minute room is going to be important. King Jungles is here. They're making the rotation with King RD. They want to make sure that he is not going to be able to do anything. And there's another tip going out here.
Nice to have your... You may not have a Coddle on your team, but King Jungle, he's there, ready with the Mango delivery and the clarity as well for himself to keep him topped off on mana.
Oh, look at these stacks. Oh, baby.
Yeah,
taking care of the jungle.
That's an absurd stack, and that's going to ramp up the Bristles farm a lot if he gets to clear that. They do get vision on it now.
Got a haste rune picked up on Analog. He's got the mana now. Running towards this bottom area, wanting to put pressure onto Why You Smile and Shiro. Shiro already using the Shikuchi. This could go in their favor. It's Analog cutting through. It's going to get held into place thanks to Why You Smile.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And it also just removes that haste, which is very, very nice. So, Analog probably going to just back off from this.
I think they can easily hold this tower here with Oracle's positioning right now and Weaver. They can defend this, so that's a little bit of a stretched move where you don't get anything as Pango and always feels bad to just run there and back again without any payoff.
Would it have been better for him to activate that Rolling Thunder earlier before they could purge off the haste rune, or do you think it was just a little too risky?
I don't think they could commit it there. Wouldn't really get a kill.
They're trying to put pressure on you, over. But
there's still 3 big creeps there with FCR, so slowing down a little bit the farm at least.
Underneath the ward. This is looking very spooky for him. He's going to try to use that Stormhammer. He's held into place with the Fortune's End. In comes Analog. He's a little late, though. Not going to be able to use that Rolling Thunder to keep him alive.
Meanwhile, 1-for-1 on the XP runes, and Bristleback just kind of threatening back the Necro, but he's happy to take these Magic Stick charges, too.
Got 8 stacks of Warpath here. It's going to be difficult. They need to rotate someone else. I'd like to see the Pango rotate top, would you?
He doesn't really threaten so much until he has Diffu is the thing. And Pango, he's just underfarmed right now. He's not looking too big on mid. Both mids are pretty starved with the rotations earlier, shutting down the Spirit Breaker too.
A little bit of pressure being placed onto Planet. Does have to be careful, though, because they have new nearby. Planet taking pretty low. The fault, they use the sight, but not going to be able to do the damage thanks to why you smell. Rotating top, King RD will indeed die. As FCR in an awkward position now. Just going to back off. They have the Pango. Analog's coming in hot now. He's got himself a double damage that's been just bottled up. Won't connect over onto Why You Smile, but doesn't feel like he really wants to do this. They're lacking just that lockdown that is needed to continue that.
LGD just staying disciplined, not going too far out into that chase, and that's a role committed very hopefully, you know, wishing that they will walk in, but they had a ward that spotted him, so that high ground ward, seeing the Pango, kind of kept him safe there.
He just clears the stack so fast. That's so much gold that he's getting from this, and he's just being uncontested on it too.
Yeah, he's the most farmed hero in the game right now, and in my personal opinion, I think Bristleback is the most important hero to shut down in any game where Bristleback is picked, pretty much. So this is bad news for Vivo Keystars. They are moving over. They're trying. They don't want to let him. They're going to be sad to see that the Ancients are already cleared.
Too late. They could make moves on Analog. They would be careful. He does not have that Rolling Thunder up. Charges coming in with the Solar Bind. Knock him around and take him down.
That's a quick, easy kill there, and nothing to say. Really needed this as well for his own game on Spirit Breaker. Getting something, finally getting a rotation. He does have the face boots on level 8 now, so he can already, I think, one-shot creep waves with level 3. Maybe he needs 4 on Charger Darkness, but the 5% buff really made this hero stronger.
Again, I'm still concerned, like, again, they made these rotations. Ooh, FCR top lane. Gonna try to teleport over. Keep him alive just a little bit longer, King Jungles, with the disruption. Will allow him to teleport away, but you still have these 3 heroes in this top lane.
He may have survived the TP base there, but before you have travels or anything, it feels really bad to have to run all the way from your fountain as a Necro. It's not as bad as dying, perhaps, but he didn't TP to somewhere else on the map, so he's got a journey to make now.
Shield Rune picked up by Analog.
Got a journey to make now.
Looks like they are going to try to defend this top tower. I'm a little scared just because Neo, again, seems very, very powerful at this time. Has himself already the point booster. I think he's got the Ogre Axe coming out right now. Or, no.
More than halfway, yeah. He's closing in on that Aghanim's. It's going to be a beautiful timing. It looks like 6k net worth minute 10 is a really good score. And meanwhile, LGD kind of playing the lanes, you know, Spirit Breaker sitting mids, making sure that doesn't push too much. And Weaver, pretty uncontested on bottom. He's 0-0-0 right now, but he's free farming on Shiro.
Little pressure being placed over to this mid lane. Gonna threaten from nothing to say with the Nether Strike. Just start
They
pulling
want to jump him when he charges. Oh, not gonna go though.
It's not gonna buy it. Over on the side though, Planet taking a lot of damage from these creeps. Gonna try to use that blinding light. A nice play coming out from Wise Smile. We'll keep him alive a little bit longer as he navigates around the side. King RD in an awkward position, as is Analog. He's got the Rolling Thunder. They're trying to go through here, but doesn't look like he's gonna be able to finish anyone thought maybe he gets himself planted. There's the opening, but on the back lines now, FCR, he's going to try to use the sight, almost managing to finish off Shiro. It's so close, he needs just a little bit more damage, and those two managed to find it. FCR going to try to teleport away, not going to be able to manage though. He will end up dying as now Analog running away from Nothing to Say. They're high-fiving each other on the way out, but looks like he will survive as Sven puts pressure onto this bottom tower.
It's a good kill on the Weaver before he finishes his Lincolns as well. Getting that kill while the Sven is free farming. A little bit of a win for Keepstars there. It looked like it might almost work out even better for LGD if the Weaver managed to run away, but the last attack there from Necro, just enough thanks to the dust.
Still felt a little clunky. Analog gonna fight with Nothing to Say. The Invis room though will get picked up by the Spirit Breaker, and Costa having to be a bit careful because he's gonna walk right into Nothing to Say.
He does have help nearby though. He has the Pango and the Shadow Demon in the territory, so he's fine enough. Just gonna go back and keep farming some of these stacks that his team has made for him. And Sven doing Sven things, just clearing out jungle really, really fast. He's got his Echo Saber just now coming out together with the Master Madness. Still though, 400 gold, and then the Aghanims is online on the Bristle, and that's when he can burst people. It's insane the amount of damage that you do just running up and pressing Bristle back to someone.
I'm curious what the plan is once he gets this Ags for the side of Keepstars, because it is such a huge power spike, like you're saying. How do you deal with this?
I think the biggest spike is right when he gets the shard as well. So in 2 minutes from now, if he manages to farm up 1,400 gold, then that would be absolutely absurd for him. And
Let
then
me say if. It's pretty much, I feel like he's gonna have it.
he probably will. You know, it was an if because he still needed 750 GPM for those 2 minutes. But looking at the way the game is played, he probably will have it.
There it is. There's the Ags completed. It's gonna start quilling everywhere. King RD's here, so's FCR. They're looking to make this play. Shiro, though, also in position. King RD gonna be forced to try to roll. Isn't gonna be able to quite move fast if King Jungles is here. No, he doesn't decide to go for the disruption. They're just gonna back off.
So I want to talk a little bit about King RD as he just died here. Put a spotlight on him, not to shame, but I want to talk about his item build. He's going for a Midas first here on the Earth Spirit, and if I'm not wrong, he went for a Midas first in last game as well. And I just feel like it's a little bit too greedy. You need to have impact early on the supports. Thinking back to the way we've seen Q, for instance, play on his supports, go for the Blink Dagger and then back into Midas. Like one active item first and then Midas feels so much better from a support.
Should we rename him Greed RD?
He's definitely greeding it up a bit here.
Definitely feels like we're seeing that from the supports. Although King Jungles typically, I'd say, is a little bit more, I wouldn't say poverty mode necessarily, but with not buying like those smokes earlier and whatnot, it feels like they have been pretty greedy. A little bit of a movement over here into the buy angle. And they are split up, but that could be very dangerous for the side of Vivo Keystars because they will end up getting pinned if they're not careful. We'll see Planet, though. They'll go for the side, even go for the Rolling Thunder. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication on that. Probably didn't need both of those, but... Jump over onto why you smile. King RD, though, is in an awkward position. Benjamin comes out over onto Nothing to Say. They've already lost King RD. Nothing to Say, though. Sitting quite low. Forced to use that promise over onto Nothing to Say. Keep him alive. Costa trying to figure out how do we do this. Do we want to go back in? Doing a lot of damage, but at the same time, it's a Bristol back. He doesn't care. Shiro starts wiggling around on these back lines, putting pressure onto King Jungles. Does still have that time lapse. Cooching around. They're going to send back this Coddle. He's getting right back into the fight. Lincoln's gonna pop. They'll go right back again. Nothing to Say. This Blade Mail's doing a lot as they're trying to figure out the angle. We'll end up losing King Jungle. Shiro diving underneath the tower. Nothing to Say FCR. There's the charge over onto Analog, but will not continue as now the roll away from King RD on the back lines. FCR still looking. Again, the charge onto Analog. They're trying to just get as much damage off as possible. The Stormhammer, lots of clean. Nothing to Say is just isolated now. They'll get the kill, and they'll turn their attention now over to new FCR. He's just coded in quills, 10 of them. In fact, do they go back in is the question. The war cry comes out from Costa. They're not looking to vacate just yet. What a fight, Waga. I don't even think it's over yet. King RD's wandering right over there. Gives a little kickoff to New. Not going to get the runes bottom and Analog. He'll be able to get himself a regen.
Keatstar's doing a great job holding there and not losing too many things, doing a good job playing around the Necro, allowing for his heals over and over. At the same time, though, LGD with the chase there, we saw the potential of the Chakra Magic after Spirit Breaker charges in. He gets that charge very quickly again and just keeps going. And this is before he has his Octarine. Working towards that, it's going to be even scarier. But yeah, we can see how LGD, they don't have the biggest team fight spells to drop when the fight starts. They just have to sort of run in with the Spirit Breaker, run in with the Bristleback and hope that the fight happens, because they have no real lockdown. So all of Keatstar's just walked away.
Yeah, that was definitely chaotic, but at the same time, very controlled chaos in the sense of, you know, they don't have the way to lock Keatstar's down necessarily, so you can see, you know, they're waiting for their stuns, they're backing up, they're going back in. Very interesting kind of fight. And Shiro here is in the top. I don't think they really are looking for him, though. Looks like they're going to try to put some pressure, potentially. Oh, there is a courier over there. They're going to hold on, though.
Yeah, they're smoked. They want to go for something bigger. They're looking for a target that is going to pay off.
Such a long fight. Costa. Oh, it's Planet. Planet breaking the smoke again. Why you smile on the back lines? Nice positioning. And Alok needs to be careful. He might be a little bit too far away from the rest of his team. Look at those twins. Oh my god. He is just dead as King Douglas left behind. Nothing to say. Bashing away. Get a big illuminate. They wanted Planet. They have to at least get this on the side of Keystars. And it does look like they'll manage to do it. But now FCR, these stacks, these pulls, everything just obliterating him. King RD diving back to the safety of his tower. LGD showing up in a big way in that fight.
Disrespecting the Aghanim Scepter and the Shard. Like I said, the Shard timing for Bristleback is when he gets really, really strong. You can get so many extra stacks. Those 2 extra goose stacks quickly. Oh boy.
He was not expecting the Lincolns to be on you.
And again, disrespecting, getting too close. Even with the vision that people are nearby there. Just not really expecting to get killed by Bristleback like this. But he's taking over the area now. Gonna farm the enemy Ancients too.
I mean, he's a big boy. They don't have the tools necessary to fight him. Takes a lot to get this Bristleback out of their area.
Yeah, when he's being protected this well by Oracle as well, you can see him kind of sticking to him like glue, just following him like, yeah, make sure that you can dive to your heart's content. And now the move is coming. This is the Roche play with the Aghanims and the Shard. We've seen it time and time again here in the group stage before as well, how Bristle just enables this. His team is coming over with the Weaver bugs as well. We can see armor dropping really low on Roche.
Oh, yeah.
Down to minus 20, 21, 22.
There's just nothing that Keatstars can do about this.
And there Roche is at 0 armor.
I don't know how you kill this Bristleback at this time with what Vivo Keatstars has in their hands.
And right now, it's not even worth killing him. He has the Aegis as well, so they're really enabling him. They could have passed it to Weaver if they wanted there, but they don't want to take the risk of Bristle dying at all. He's died 0 times this game so far, and they can play around him entirely to take more objectives.
He's a full-on raid boss. There's just... Again, you don't want to focus on him, but he's going to be focused on you.
So going back to Keatstars and how they can turn this game around, they got the Shadowblade coming out for Sven. He has the Blink. I was talking about how he's going to need, Blink, Silver, BKB. That's going to be the big items. So he's getting close, but he's not really fight ready yet. They probably have to let go of bottom.
But what about the timing, I guess, is my concern. Like, is it going to be in a fast enough manner that it's still going to have the impact that's needed?
Yeah, that's we'll see how much of the base is left. They're smoking over immediately, though, going before having all these items. That's LG are a bit split here.
This could be the most the best fight that they could take currently. Is those very wide swing. Granted, they can have a Spirit Breaker there at any moment. Costa is going to go use that Shadow Blade. Oh, and there is Why You Smile on Planet. Look at this positioning from these supports. Costa's going to walk right into them. Why You Smile. There it is. There's the guy that you want to go after. Positioning down to the low ground. The charge coming through. Analog kind of stuck in the corner. Going to pop down. Why You Smile already using that false promise on himself. As you can see, they're rolling through. Planet stuck over on the side. Is just going to continuously get hit. Nothing to say. Kind of in an awkward position. Shiro's joined into the fight. The chase is on after nothing to say, though. King Artie and Analog looking to see if they can get their hands on them. But Neo, he's here. He's a big boy.
They're just running. They have to be happy with what they got. They got 2 important kills. Didn't lose anyone. Just try and get out now before the fight escalates into something else. And that was pretty much the dream fight for them.
King RD.
Oh, Burst Spirit, though, stuck around.
He got his Wisdom rune, but I don't think Yeah. Maybe a little too greedy.
Yeah, with the bugs as well, they're going for the Tormentor steal. Doesn't look like they have anything to say about it as well, as Sven's not ready. Gonna be a shard over on the Oracle as well. But yeah, that was pretty much the dream fight that they could ask for. Getting on top of the Oracle immediately. The SD got his ulti over on their Spirit Breaker, so they controlled him really well. You can't really have a better initiation for them. And still the fight looked pretty scrappy. Now going back for their own Tormentor. New wants to get even more shards for his team.
Oh yeah. One-man tormenting machine. That was the BKB used by New on that last fight. And again, they were able to walk away, which was the big thing.
Yeah, they have good disengage on the side of Keepstars.
Getting close to the Harpoon. Wolf just find himself planted. Just gets rid of him very quickly. Does need to be careful though, Neo, making his way over. He's got the Aegis and he's got himself an Oracle. I think Costa got a little baited here. This is not looking different. They've got the rings on top of that. And he is just dead.
That was a greedy play. He even had a ward.
Nothing to say. Teleporting in is going to jump on Analog. Does have the Weaver nearby too, so just going to end up losing the Pangolier.
And the charge keeps going?
No.
Thinks better of it. Spirit Breaker with the Gossamer Cape as well. Extra fast. Very good against Sven as well. You see the timings now coming in for LGD all around here. They got the Death Zone Weavers, not just survivability from the Lincolns. Now he actually has some damage as well. And the Spirit Breaker with a full BK or full Octarine and Blade Mill. Things are getting tough here for Keepstars.
I mean, he was already tough for Keepstars, let's be really honest, but definitely getting harder. A minute left on the Aegis, so you can see the aggression coming out from LGD. As Vivo Keepstars, they want to try to make a play. They want to try to push them out of their jungle. Costa coming back up here. He's not going to have that God Strength for about 17 seconds, and Planet consistently seems to be the one that gets jumped on. But again, it's just a support.
Had to get him, but they lose top tower. At least they get something while the top tower falls, so they get a minor pick off there, but I don't think LGD are even flinching. They just keep farming. Nobody panic reacted. They didn't bleed 1-by-1 kills. So again, they need something more on Keepstars. They need to find a big fight, and it's going to be after the Aegis that they have maybe a window to fight around. Silver Edge. Oh, he didn't.
He went for the Harpoon.
Silver Edge?
He went for the Harpoon. I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel about that, Waga?
Well,
King or D? FCR?
FCR might be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, they're teleporting in. We'll see if there's the respect. It's a little bit of a roll from King RD. Yeah, they're just going to back off. Aegis just getting reclaimed now. Rather play it safe than sorry. But they also have a gem on Bristle, so that's going to make it a lot scarier for the side of Keepstars to walk out of their base.
So, to go back to Costadil's decision there, not going for Silver Edge, there's one thing to be said about it. BKB removes Silver Edge nowadays. It didn't used to, but it does. So, maybe that's why the Bristol already having a BKB feels like you can't rely on the Silver Edge.
Saw Shiodo with the double damage just slipping around the outsides. In jungles, they have a charge on them. They've got this vision, but while this is going on, they find the opening on the back end. Again, Planet, the first one to go down, and it's just totally separate. Why do you smile? Off to the side, Costa, all by himself, is getting knocked around by nothing to say, and Shiodo, King RD, will end up dying. Costa trying to buy himself a little bit of space, trying to have Analog come help him, but it's just a little bit too late. Dusta's gonna get used, Analog looking for the opening, but he's a big baddie, and it's just so hard to get him off of you. FCR going in with the side, can they finish up? Nothing to say, nothing thanks to the fact that they have this Oracle, and they'll end up losing Analog, and they'll end up losing FCR. It is a double kill for New.
Oh my god, why you smile? Always in such good positioning. How has he only died 2 times on Oracle in a game like this against those heroes? And he's always there. This is not the first time they get the Fate's Edict, but this Necro is crying, unable to get a good ulti off in the team fights. And also, what a DD run to have. The Shiro DD Weaver there just going in, making that fight so easy for them, because he picked off the SD immediately, preventing him from stopping the Spirit Breaker.
And this Oracle, I feel like we've seen such... yeah, you can see the beginning of this fight here on FCR. As we watch the replay, and they make the jump onto this Oracle, right? You can see why you smile over here. And he's had to use his own ulti on himself, but it's worth it because he survives. And then it feels like Vivo Keystars are like, well, we couldn't get him. All right, we got to jump on someone else right now.
Yeah, they didn't have the damage. Sven wasn't there to keep laying in through the Oracle ulti because he was being gone on at the same time. So very, very tough. Back in the game, we see a push towards this very tier 2 tower that they were fighting under. And no real defense for Keystars here.
I mean, what can they do? They don't have the means right now. They need to get some sort of a pick-off potentially.
Yeah, we have more items coming in as well. Just sees the creeps disappear. Full BKB being purchased up by Weaver as well, so he has his own safety net now, and almost full assault cuirass on the Bristleback. Blink dagger on Caudle, so he's gonna be able to sit back a little bit more now or react to these ganks. They are closing in on some timings themselves on Keystars though. 200 gold for the Blink for Pango. First Spirit got himself a Yule Scepter. Finally has an item after that Midas. Things are slipping fast right now. You can see the small area of the map that they're playing on. They need to get some of these D wards.
They can see Shiro over here, but unfortunately Shiro can see you, so King Jungles, you are absolutely toast, my friend.
Yeah, they don't really have a counterplay to Weaver running in like that. With Lincolns and BKB, it's tough for them to go on him.
Jump forward. Okay, they pop it immediately. There's the follow-up, though. As now Shiro, okay, he's going to stay alive a little bit long. Costa's just ripped apart. There'll be multiple buybacks coming out from Keystars. This Analog separated from the rest of his team. Get King RD. This is looking disastrous now for Keystars. They're trying to find the opening, trying to do something here after they buy back. Costa, he's here, but he's just so big, so scary with that BKB. Look at this man. How do you stop him? It is looking so hard for them to do it. They'll go and just try to hold in place with the site. It's just not enough damage. They don't seem to have it. King Jungles will go down. 3 dead on the side of Keystars. He's still alive. Still kicking. He's going to go one side into the face. He's just ripping them apart. Oh my God. Somebody stop this man.
Nah, this game is over. Pack it up here. The Keystars, I mean, they're not gonna tap, but this is absolutely just forfeit at this point. LGD looking so good. New playing like a god, working on improving his already impressive KDA here. 13-0 in this game. I guess Infinity is a pretty good KDA.
Untouchable, that's for sure. My God. Also, it's like, shout out to these supports, right? The amount of times, like, the positioning coming out from this Oracle.
Yeah, they're doing a super good job on the side of LGD. Just, if they get a pick-off on the Caudle, it usually isn't really a good pick-off. And when they jumped the Oracle, he just kept himself safe. Good reactions by his team as well. Full Agams now for Spirit Breaker as he sneaks in and buys it behind the enemy lines.
King RD needs to be careful. He's about to walk right into. They see him. They're hoping maybe we can get a kill on Nothing to Say. He's a little bit separated from everyone else. Rolling Thunder coming through from Analog. And King Jungles is just dead. Nothing to Say. Sitting a bit low here. King RD putting out all of his spells as possible. FCR, he wants to try to do something. Doesn't have the sight, though. And there's the save again from the Oracle. Oldest Rain, keeping them alive. FCR is going to get chased down. Analog's dead. It is a full team wipe on Vivo Keystars. And the GGs get called. Man, if you're a China Dota fan, you're really, really happy right now.
He's fountain diving, but there's nobody there. Bristol is like, any more than I can kill? What a performance here by LGD. Both Game 1 and Game 2, I mean, particularly Game 2, looking so clean. And Keystars, they were just fumbling pretty early on in this match. I feel like LGD completely had their number, even though they did a lane swap there to try and get, the Necro against the Bristol. Bristol seemed completely unfazed, and the bottom lane, the Weaver, was having a free game as well. This was just all according to script for LGD. You could see the smiles on their faces.
Yeah, a little bit of those frowns on Keystars. But again, this is a seeding match, so it's not like they're eliminated. They don't have to go home or anything, but they need to prepare themselves going forward. And again, if you're an LGD fan, you're feeling really good right now. It was looking a little rough earlier this year internationally, but they are in fine form. And I'm sure our panel will agree with us on that.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, LGD just stepping it up. Still amazing performance from Keystars. Just a few things lacking, especially in this game too when it came to foresight and the draft, right? Because this Necro could have had impact if it wasn't picked into an Oracle Winter.
Yeah, foresight. You don't have to be. You don't have to be an Oracle to know Oracle counters Necro Force. I mean, it's crazy, you know, that they picked Necroforce into Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it. They're trying to figure out a solution towards the Bristleback, but Oracle just make sure that kind of never happens in the game because of Fate's Edict and False Promise.
I feel like the TA in the first game and the Necro in the second match were just drafting misses.
Mm-hmm.
The game perhaps would have played out a little bit longer, a little bit different, at least, if not for these heroes that are just difficult to execute with. I believe that Necro, is definitely a worse mistake in drafting. Yeah, he just couldn't repercite. He got maybe a couple of stacks. I didn't count. I counted one. I saw one.
Not to mention they picked the Sven as well together, which everything is so greedy. Like Sven is a hero where you want the draft to be about you. But then you're looking to your left, you see a Necroforce. Oh no, I have to share the stage with this guy. This guy needs a lot of resources in the game. You know, then it creates an imbalance in the game. Unless you're winning all your lanes super hard, you know. Because they have to purposefully change the lane setup to put the Necroforce on the safe lane, and they put the Sven on the off lane to make the early game go better, you know.
And you're not gonna win the lanes. Not versus this team, not versus these heroes as well. Like, you might even it out, but you're not gonna win in such a fashion that you can snowball where one hero has absolute uncontested free farm and then he can do whatever he wants on the map. He doesn't have to even farm.
It was a really hard game to watch, especially if you are a Viva Keyd-starred fan there. It was so close seeing the Necro go out for that ult and then just have an Oracle save him for it, but LGD, the draft gamers, god gamers that they are here, did really well. The Spirit Breaker mid is the most notable one for me because whilst we're seeing a lot of Spirit Breaker, maybe in the post 4, in the post 3, they are the only team to actually be running it mid. They did it in groups up against Nouns. They got a victory on it there. So they knew that there was success in a Spirit Breaker mid, but to have the confidence to bring it out again, why exactly does it work in this matchup? And to be able to first phase it, knowing it's most likely to go in mid.
Well, you can first phase it, and then after you do first phase it,
you
can decide where it goes. But it's very interesting because just before TI10 there was some tournament, I can't remember the name. Zhao 8 was standing in for them. They won the tournament.
Right.
And he was playing mid, and they were picking Spirit Breaker for him mid.
Oh, so you just come full circle 2 years later.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it all started, and they're still picking the hero. He obviously Spirit Breaker has changed like throughout those 2. It's exactly that. It's a circle. It's a cycle of heroes. It's like you get this super uber buffed up patch, and then you're gone for a year, and then you come back. He made a resurrection here on mid lane once again.
I mean, the hero has the same weakness as before. He's very weak in the lane, but the issue the hero has right now is he's just way too strong even though he loses his lane. That's why you can pick the hero early, and obviously with the flex, being able to flex him to off lane, or I don't know if anybody.
It's weak for you because you don't believe. He's just not good enough. He doesn't bash.
Believer?
Did you learn how to bash?
You have to act like you don't actually want it.
I have to use you need to right click the creeps, the jungle creeps, and if you don't get a bash, then you right click the hero.
No, it's about the way you click.
About the way I click. Okay. I need a different way of clicking.
Yes, exactly. If you find a way to right click properly, you're gonna bash every time.
It's an active for you, right? You can
exactly.
You can actually click.
It turns into an autocast act.
It's like the Wraith King critical strike. It's cool.
Listen, weren't you like months ago the one that was doing Spirit Breaker on your Steam Deck? You were trying to learn. That was like the first hero when you were playing Dota on your
Steam Deck?
Yeah, it was Spirit Breaker. I swear.
It could have been. I think I played on Steam Deck Spirit Breaker, Clock, and Pango.
Yeah, so it's all your losses of playing Spirit Breaker on Steam Deck that got
Whoa. Yes.
yes, it was.
If he's playing Spirit Breaker, it clearly means he doesn't care about winning, you know? It's all about having fun.
I mean, exactly. It's one of those heroes that you can even play it on a Steam Deck. You just press charge and that's it, you chill.
We're going to have a look at the updated bracket because with LGD taking the 2-0, it does mean they're going to be in that upper bracket. We can see them right there. They're sitting below Team Spirit, VP, Liquid, Talon, Keydstars, waiting to see who their opponent's going to be in the lower bracket. That one will be decided later today because we have only finished our first best of 3 here. The Shiro Weaver as well, we didn't really talk about because I got distracted with playing Dota on your Steam Deck over there. But the Weaver.
Yep.
Obviously a hero that we have seen here and there throughout the road to the international so far, but to have that impact, you weren't really a big fan of it originally when you were like, okay, what is the idea behind this Weaver?
I was feeling that it might be a position 4 hero when I saw it because the synergy is quite apparent with the BB. You want some hero like either a Venge or Weaver to have minus armor, so your Cruel Spirit does a lot more. That was what I felt was going to happen. But then they last picked the Keeper of Light to make the Bristleback even better with the Chakra, and still have the Swarm with the Carry Weaver. So I think they have a lot of thought process between how to make this Bristleback strong. I feel like a lot of the teams that are better, they understand what picks up.
My quiver and bow are ready. That was my thought.
All right, get ready.
Way ahead of you. I see death.
Don't cross my path.
First kill.
First blood, last word. I got it all. Yes.
Enemies need killing.
Yes. They'll rue the
Attack!
day. sniveling. Follow, I fear no beast.
Your middle tower's taking a beating. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't like your odds here.
Summoned. Evangelizing for my cause. So I go bones to crush. At whose command? All on behalf of my steel thirsts. All on behalf of
You people, I'm using the term loosely here. I know you're probably a giant pink bat or a robot made out of fairy water or whatever, but you people need to handle this, and I mean yesterday. Yes. Strength. middle tower's taking a beating.
Life drain, no waiting. Why not? You wish. Already there. A little jaunt. Out of my... I'm under attack!
Your middle tower might need a little attention. I wouldn't sweat it. These things are built to take a lot of punishment.
Not yet.
Well, maybe not that much.
Oblivion comes. I'm going. On my way. Out of my way. I was headed that way myself. Wandering.
Steel and strength.
Yonder I wander. By the nether regions.
Axe go. Good day to fight.
Try me.
To the enemy.
I'll take a crack at it. Oh, I'm gone.